teams to go out with a bang here. We want them to do well. We want to see much better things come out from Zeta and GenG as well, the very first team to win a Masters trophy for Pacific, representing us here. So I want to see much better come out from them, and I'm expecting it today. And I like the changes that are coming through from GenG. Zeta Division, they kept everything the same for a reason. There's something that they believe in that they want to pull out here in Stage 2. So let's see if they can make that happen today as we kick off the very first day of Stage 2 of VCT Pcific.
I was too busy with my internet activity, like university activity. For the example,
스테이지 1에서는 플레이오프도 사실상 4등으로 가서 좀 안 좋은 위치에서 시작을 하기도 했고 많이 아쉬움이 남는 것 같아요.
自分たちが勝ち急いじゃっていろんなミスを生んでしまって
I think the finals in Ho Chi Minh City was the biggest disappointment for me because I cannot attend as a player. Yeah, that one hit me. I was very sad.
รู้สึกภูมิใจกับเพื่อนร่วมทีมทุกคนเลยครับที่พากันไปจนไปลอนดอนตอนนั้นก็รู้สึกเสียใจแล้วก็แบบผิดหวังกับตัวเองนิดหน่อยครับก็
satisfying season because we made it to London. I wasn't able to lead them to reach the playoffs and play better.
많이 힘들었던 것 같습니다. 그냥 처음 겪어보기도 하고 사실 좀 순탄하게 좀 보내왔으니까 이런 밑바닥도 좀 경험을 해봐야 나중에 더 좋은 선수가 되지 않을까. 잘하는 선수가 못할 때 욕을 먹는 거는 당연하다고 생각을 하거든요. 어차피 선수는 계속해서 잘해야 되고 증명을 해야 된다고 생각을 하기 때문에
มันก็ไม่แปลกหรอกครับที่เขาจะว่าหรืออะไรแต่ก็ปล่อยเขาไป
I realized if someone try to talk bad about you, it's because they are jealous of you. They want to be in my position. So they try to bring me down, but that one would never work.
It's just like a warning to me that I gotta do better for myself, for the team, for the fans as well.
비난하는 말들을 원동력 삼아서 스테이지 2에서 좀 더 단단하게 준비했습니다.
ステージ2ではそういう批判の声を応援に変えれるように頑張っていきたいと思います。
We can prove them wrong.
And trust the process.
확실히 퍼시픽에 있는 팀들 전체가 상향 평준화가 돼가지고
Every season, every team improves. And I think stage 2, everyone has enough experience now from kickoff in stage 1.
And this stage is the most important because it can lead us to champion. So you can see all the teams upgrading their roster, everybody making roster change. So I expect this stage will be way harder.
I think the main thing is you just have to believe in yourselves and believe as a team. You guys can do it too.
겁없이 도전적이고 다른 팀들이 무서워하는 리스크를 저희는 무서워하지 않는 모습으로 다시 돌아왔으니까 기대해 주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
ก็มีอะไรใหม่ๆมาให้ทุกคนดูแน่นอนครับก็ฝากแฟนๆทุกคนชาวฟูลเซนทุกคนครับก็มาเจอกันได้ที่สเตจ2ครับผม
皆様の大きな期待を応えれるように初戦から頑張っていきたいと思います。
We lacked experience in Masters London, but coming into stage 2, we will be ready.
After pulling off a major upset last year, we are aiming to do it again this year.
24 광탈 25 루카트 갈 때 됐다. 갈 때 됐어. 스테이지 2 우승해가지고 챔스 가도록 하겠습니다. 젠지 파이팅.
Let's go.
Today's matchup.
Welcome to Valor Champions Tour Pacific. It's day 1 of stage 2, and it sounds like we got a new tune here in Pacific. We're welcoming in GenG and Zeta Division, both teams who have so much to prove. GenG, a former trophy winner, one of the very best here in Pacific, have not performed very well in stage 1, but they've made some changes on the roster.
Yeah, but the changes don't really leap off the page as something that would be worth being super excited about. I'm hoping that they'll end up blending together very well with the existing core, because both Texture and Karen have been phenomenal in the past. Ash has really bettered himself in to be a staple of this GenG roster, and this should be an easier game for both of these teams on paper.
And for Zeta Division, Morgan, they haven't made any changes at all, but we're hoping for a much better performance coming here. We saw blips of brilliance from them, but there were not many blips.
Yeah, look, if this is back in stage 1, this is a bottom of the table clash. Both these teams have a lot to prove. You saw a summer vibe, a beach anthem for the walkout, because that's what's on the line here. We're playing to compete in Busan over at the finals. Both of these teams don't have a lot of champs points. They need a very, very strong stage 2, and it has to start here. This is a winnable game for both of these teams on paper, and it's all important for where you're going to end up in that group.
I feel like that's the case for both of the series that are being played today. It's some of the weaker performing teams that you've seen. We already saw it in some of the content before this game got kicked off. This is the stage where it all counts. These teams want to do very well at the end of the year. It's the last time we're going to see the Pacific League in this particular format, and they all want to make it to champions.
Yeah, for Zeta Division, though, I definitely want to see this improvement. I want to see some changes. I want to see them find some consistency in the roles. I need to see that level up in macro and individual skill if they're going to take down GenG today, because the core of this team is infamous. We know that they have all-star players who have lifted trophies. So big, big questions here that have to be answered for our opening match of Stage 2.
Absolutely. We want both these, first of all, support both of these teams and get those bundles, because I heard some stuff. This is like the last chance that you're really going to get these classic bundles from the Pacific team. So get them in and support your teams right now. But you're right, both teams, this is their shot. Every single point towards champs matters, and they have a lot of points they're going to need to start racking up here. We are going to be starting with Ascent. We've seen both of these teams perform on it, some with some hits and misses.
This is Zeta Division's picks. I'm curious what they've got cooked up here. And, oh my goodness, they've been cooking. What is this? Okay, we got...
Let's look at a little perch on the bottom.
Wow, okay. I mean, this is a little bit crazy. We don't see a lot of breach on this map, but you can see it's a clear, deliberate counter to this double duelist meta. Neon Phoenix, with that chamber, they have a lot more util to deal with, but you have to watch out for those fault lines. It's not as prevalent as it used to be. You might not have as many in a round, so you need impact every time.
I haven't seen breach on this map since you used to have 3 flashes. On the other side of things, GenG just continuing with the same kind of approach that they were playing with their last roster. Texture is on the chamber, starting out on defense first. He is going to be a terror, but we have to keep an eye on these new additions to GenG. How well will they do in a very winnable matchup for them?
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Well, Stage 2, all roads do lead to champions. And to take us through the very first match of Stage 2, it's Jordan and Quack.
All roads lead to champions, Quack. Is that necessarily the case for this matchup? That's the question I have for you. We're coming early with the PM.
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of what it is right now.
Right.
It's unavoidable that these teams that we have, you know, it's kind of odd thinking that GenG are here as well. They are the bottom of the barrel teams. Sorry, I did not mean to do that.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
They are at the bottom of the barrel right now. Right. But yeah, that's kind of what's happening, especially with the points that they have. It's kind of virtually impossible for them to catch up. They have to win these games.
I mean, I think now is the best time for a rebuild, to be fair, for GenG, and that's obviously what they're trying to do as we head into our first match of Stage 2. GenG need to do some recovering for what they did last season, and this is the perfect match to do it in, right? It's a nice season. We'll see what Zeta can put together as well. GenG, 2 new additions.
Yeah.
Lots of questions to answer, I'm sure.
Could be good. Honestly, I think that's what Pilly was kind of alluding to already on the desk. Just looking at the composition, double duelist. It kind of just fits everyone in the team right now as well. Of course, with the roster shuffles they've had to go through, it brings some questions to mind. But seeing as how you've got the Phoenix, the Neon in, still with, you know, ever-proven Ashe, feels like a pretty good change. I'm very curious about Zeta, though. I mean, like they said, Breach hasn't been that common. It's been off meta for quite a while now, ever since the fault line has been reduced down to 60-second cooldown. Now it's back up to 50 seconds, but I'm curious if that's actually going to be that effective.
Straight out the gates, though, looks like GenG want to be on the front foot. They've got themselves a nice mid setup here. And already a little bit of a creep forward shooter. Keeping a bit of an eye on that, but Texture, he wants to get amongst it, and he certainly will be getting amongst it, helped out by Ashe, the 2-for-1. Now quickly turning back again in the favor of GenG, so you could tell that they wanted to make something happen in mid, and they have been successful in that. It's a good start to the map as far as GenG is concerned.
That is incredible. Just not seeing that too often, but now a bit more contact, unfortunately, brings Zeta down to their knees. It's just Shoda left. Doesn't have to spike either, so...
Yeah, Karen spotted that as well. So GenG going to be pretty aware. Karen, he spotted him out now as well. So he's going to very quickly smoke that off, try to make the life a little bit more difficult. But Shota does just have to push his way forward and try and make something happen here. There's no other way to win the round.
You got a full 40 seconds of this.
I mean, he surely can't just sit here, right? Like... There's no world, though, where GenG is going to walk into this line. Literally, not a single chance that they will walk on that line.
Yeah, maybe you kind of hope that the newer, lesser experienced guys maybe, but nah, it's not happening.
Like, if you want to make something happen in that round as that solo individual, you have to make it happen. Like, you have to be the driving force behind that round. So I'm glad that he tries to go for something they're obviously not likely to happen. Good start to GenG, maybe a bit of a confidence builder, nerve settler. As you say, a couple of the new members into this lineup will obviously keep a pretty keen eye on what they're going to be able to do.
Especially if that was a call from Athena, joining in from T1 Academy. Extensive career all throughout. So probably gonna have some decent calls as well as the new IGL for GenG, but either way, at least in that round, you could still see it's pretty much texture and how he's popping off, even back then from EWC qualifiers.
Well, I mean, we've got a tech pause to start things off. Obviously, you know, day one, these things are going to happen. But that gives us a little bit of time to sort of expand upon what was discussed on the desk. And again, we're obviously spending a lot of time talking about these GenG changes, but I think it is, at least for me, the biggest storyline coming into this match. Obviously, Zeta have not made any changes of their own. You know, they're going to try to continue to persist with that same core and put together a bit of a better season than what they had last season. But on the other side of the coin, GenG, you know, they've had, I would say, a pretty bad year, right? Kickoff didn't go well for them. Stage 1 didn't go well for them. They've said enough is enough. We need to make some changes. And so, as a result, we see Lakia and Zinx out of the roster.
Oh my god. We've actually got Raxgol fans. It might be his friends or something, but that's pretty cool.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, like, GenG go enough is enough. We were at one point one of the best teams in the world, or we were at least trying to compete for that. Yeah. We've fallen off in a very dramatic fashion in that regard. So we need to try and do something. And I like to obviously see that change come through. I don't know how it's going to go. We have to wait and see. But coming out of the gates, playing, you know, a nice positive round, being the aggressors, trying to play a positive style. I mean, you can tell, obviously, that they want to hit the ground running here in this stage. And I was trying to allude to it as we were going into the game there, but I think a match against Zeta is probably the perfect start for a team like GenG. You know, you come up against one of the other quote-unquote weaker teams, you know, let's not beat around the bush. Ease your way in.
Probably not wrong there.
Power up as you go into the season, so...
It's a good way to build confidence, especially with the group that they have. You might as well just try anyways, and picking off from the, like, getting it right at the go from the pistol round in that fashion,
is a great way to start. We didn't see too much from Zeta even then, so I don't know what else to say. I mean, even looking at the skirmish and the map veto alone, this one feels pretty much skewed towards GenG right now, I'm not gonna lie. The next map, Sunset, is not a map that Zeta plays too often. Of course, that's
you
the
never
map
know.
pool, but
You never know. I mean, they could have been working on things in the off season, cooking in the lab. I mean, the thing as well is, I think if you look at it from the perspective of Zeta, they're also looking at GenG and saying, hey, this is one of the other weaker teams, right? They didn't have a good season. They haven't had a good year. They're going through a rebuild. They've got 2 new players. They've got a new IGL. There's a lot of things that I think Zeta can look at and say, we actually have an opportunity here as well to try to put something together and get our season rolling on day 1.
That's a hope for Japanese Valorant at the very least. Remember, like, that was your first cast when we were here, Zeta versus Varel, and how passionate the fans were, how fired up they were, even though they were kind of, basically out of consideration for anything.
Yeah, it was literally who doesn't come last in the
But
group.
they seriously fought tooth and nail in that game.
Well, that was one of the things that I enjoyed, or I appreciated the most about, moving into Valorant and seeing what the community is like, is that, just seeing people actually care is really nice. Because I'm used to doing stuff where people don't really care that much.
People are passionate.
People are passionate.
We love it.
And that is very nice.
It can be a double-edged sword sometimes, not gonna lie.
And we've got a lot of fans to kick off day 1 here as well, of stage 2 in the arena. There's typically a lot of fans that do show up for the GenG games. I think they've got quite a contingent, and again, that is, it's good, but it's also maybe some added pressure for a team like GenG. They want to give the people a reason to actually come, and they've turned up, and so you don't want to disappoint them. You don't want to let them down.
Just put that out of your mind. Just keep playing either way. I wish I could read Korean, but I can't. Could you read Korean?
Absolutely not. But I'm not the guy that's been here for 3 or 4 years.
Oh God, I was hoping you would point that out. I was also hoping that Vic would not put me under the hot seat.
How do you feel about the build diff?
Terrible. Absolutely.
You think you're going to be wearing a durian hat again? Did you lose last season as well?
I don't think so.
Who lost?
I was not bottom place.
Was it Achilleos?
I'm hoping it is, but I think it actually became Mika.
It wasn't Mika.
I'm not sure. But I know it wasn't me. Okay. It was not me.
It wasn't me either. So as long as I didn't come last, that's winning as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, we're on an upwards trend. We'll get the laptops one of these days. But that's build diff. I mean, how are you feeling about today's one?
Up in the air. I will just do a quick translation there. Apparently the phone said, I am from Vietnam to cheer. So someone's calling all the way from Vietnam to cheer.
You know what? That actually does remind me of something. The last time I saw a Breach comp on Ascent was by Vietnamese team Fancy United Esports.
Oh, we love a bit of Fancy United.
Back in Challengers.
Yeah. It's a shame they didn't make it all the way.
They did not do too well with that comp.
Sharper and 555, obviously an interesting prospect for later on in the split. I had Sharper and 555 pegged as the 2 in my mind, and I predicted towards them most of the time. But I was a bit surprised that we had that upset in the upper bracket. Fancy going through to the upper bracket final of the last chance qualifier over 555. Obviously 555 making that lower bracket run. I think they're an interesting team. I don't know that they're necessarily going to do a huge amount of damage here in Pacific.
I think they could.
You think 555 could? I think if anyone's going to do it, it'll obviously be Sharper.
I think Sharper has a very good chance.
But I think 555 have some good individuals. I think they're a very solid firepower team when they're on. But I just wonder if that's going to get them far enough against the better teams here in Pacific.
I see your point, and there is definitely something to be said about that as well. But if we were kind of watching the Chobra podcast last night a little, and they were saying Frost especially because of how much he roots for Surf, which is that. Oh, well, Sharper right now obviously has better macro. PTC's calling is immaculate, but 555, it feels as though they might have a higher ceiling. The players on that team, Endoist, Surf, it feels like they can go quite far.
I mean, I don't hate that as a take. I don't think it's like the hottest take of all time. Certainly not as hot as Quack will win the build diff this season.
Or some of the other ones. Varel will be top 4. Come on,
Pilsky loves Varel. I'm not sure what it is about them, but he does love them. I wanted my hot take to be. I don't know if I should say this on the screen, but since we've got time, they were talking about the hot takes, and I was like, you know what? Someone should make a hot take about GE because, like, obviously there's been, Frost has departed GE and he's gone to Full Sense, and
I think a good hot take would either be like something like GE's gonna win the split, or GE's not gonna make playoffs. Like they're not even gonna make it out of groups.
I don't know if that's hot.
You don't
I
think
think
that's hot?
you could go hotter than that.
You don't think GE, the team that did so well last split, isn't not making playoffs? Is not that? You don't think that's hot? I think that's hot.
Okay, that's pretty hot. To be
that's pretty
fair,
hot.
Frost basically said the same thing, but Frost has his own reasons.
Yeah, he's got a personal vendetta. I've got nothing personal involved. And look, not to say that I necessarily think this. I just think it's an interesting like conversation point to kind of potentially bring up there. And,
okay.
Or you have the take that Full Sense is gonna not make it into playoffs.
No,
That's
come
also
on.
that's a big hot take too. Does
Nah.
anyone believe that? I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell
That's
us.
a trash. That's
Yeah.
an L take. You can't be saying
Well,
that.
okay. Well, to save us from all the L
Move
takes,
away from you.
we're gonna work on this tech pause in the downtime. We're gonna take a short break and then we'll be jumping back into game.
How to spell my Valorant rank progress. Before we back to the stream. Oh no, my CS need to update. Fuck. Shall we play? Which one? I want to play. Wait, what the Empress? I want to wait before the match started, but I don't think so. Is it enough or not? Alright. I just want to say sorry if I am gonna say my record journey. Wow. 13-5, 13-11. I guess with my... Wait, don't play? Oh no. I thought we got Platinum 1 from God 1. I'll try my best in God 2 or God 3. I think I just want for my POD. I think I just want my POD by the way. And for this game, I can shoot. But for this game, I was disappointed with my teammate because they cannot support me. Anyway, I want to learning a setup like how to play two agents, which is Cypher and Sova. Maybe Cypher first, especially on split. Alright. I think 5 minutes is enough.
Nothing stays hidden from me.
Alright,
Nothing.
once again. Oh no. Really good. So done, same done. I think that's good.
The back alleys or the streets of war. There is no difference, just nicer toys. My ultimate is ready.
Maybe for fight, I don't think so. Okay, is it right?
Cage triggered.
How? Dude, I don't think so. I think for the
Yes, this should do.
should be okay. And I'm still curious purpose maybe. But the camera is used for. Wait. Cypher setup. Cypher setup. Ah, I see. I don't think so. This one gonna be accurate or not? Wait, where is it?
Yes, this should do.
But they can
Here.
If I put it from
This goes here.
this angle, I don't think so. So maybe not right here, but
That goes there.
this one's still here.
Cage triggered.
Oopsie. One more time.
This goes here.
One more time, put it to
That goes there.
Ah, never mind.
This goes here.
Should be like this, but if enemy
Cage triggered.
do this race, I should be over with this step wire by the way. Alright. This one. One, two, three. Oopsie. Oops. My bad. Or the second one, maybe? Wait, where is it? So from this same spot. My bad. That's the reason why I'm not that from Team Liquid. Wait. Is it already fixed?
Red Bull gives you wings.
One, two, three. Alright. Okay. One, two, three.
Here.
Wow. Why it doesn't work? Alright, put my cursor like this.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Ah, like this?
Cage
That's it,
triggered.
Finally. Got it.
Alrighty, welcome back on in. It is VCT Pacific stage number 2, and yes.
Oh no.
Back
Dude,
on
I'm
clever
so
job,
confused.
but he's hit the 5k, he's back in the chair, we're ready to go. GenG
I'm so
up on
confused
another.
with
They
type of
have
setup.
picked up the pistol, it was a solid pistol round win as well.
Push through mid. Yeah, we'll see what things transpire here in round 2. You know what I want to throw out real quick is when you haven't joined us yet, there was a time Ascent was always going to be the same exact comp. Every team was running the same exact thing.
Right.
Now we have a bit more variety, so I don't hate this breach. I'm just very curious to see what it does because we don't see it too often. Right now, with pistols though, everyone just marching straight into B main. Okay, good control, especially the fault line. Texture, what are you doing?
Oh, Texture's he's just really trying to get in and amongst it. You saw it in the pistol, you're seeing it here as well. He wants to be that player that is pushing the issue for GenG. No success obviously in this instance.
Gotta love it though, especially the snipes and kind of maybe catching a glimpse back there, so enough information for Raxkull to slow things down. Molly tossed, flash out. No sound from Zeta though, just a reload. Texture's back.
Yep, and again, he just wants to fight. Look at this from Texture. What a start. The ace
on offer, and he gets it, of course. GenG setting the crowd alight in round 2. When I say GenG, really it was Texture, but I mean, that's exactly what he wants to do. That's why he's been trying to force the issue so much. And he's one away from the Tour de Force already.
This guy is just hungry. You can't see in the player cam, but from the plays alone. Oh, and he actually got the ace. Yeah. Is that going to be, are we invoking the curse now? He was always known to be like Mr. 4K. If he gets an ace, they might start to dip. So, all jokes aside, I'm very curious to see the team continue because he's now 1 point away from the ults, but this is a quick execute from Zeta as well. Absol with the double. No response from GenG.
Your curse might actually be real. Karan stuck inside this smoke, not going to have a good time at all. Spam headed in his direction. Door being closed on his face as well. Let's see if Texture can repeat the heroics. He's going to be spotted out by the drone. Was hoping for a fight before it. It's not going to happen, and we might see an ace back in the other direction now as Absol is on for it, and he is gunning for it as well. Surely not. Back-to-back aces.
Let's get it.
Karan really trying not to give it to him, and in the end, XDLL will actually give up his life for it. But look, Zeta, nice first round on the board. Much faster play out from them this time with the guns in hand, and that has bamboozled GenG.
Absolutely, and that's what this comp can do, I suppose. We saw a bit of it already with the fault line, you know, giving them control in B main back in one of those rounds, but for this one, just setting up for a huge execute. You've got flashes, you've got the Waylay being able to dive in, the whole team working around it. If GenG aren't prepared for hits like that, yeah, maybe the curse is real. We do have Tour de Force in this round, though. But Zeta trying to do the same thing.
Looks like it. Maybe a little bit of a deeper smoke here. Absol's going to dive straight into it. Rascal instantly deleted, had no chance there at all. Absol, another double entry. This is looking phenomenal for Zeta on the attack at the moment.
And listen in.
Planted.
ピクセルヘム多分。
何？くるくる。
くるくる。
だけど食らってないこいつ。
そうそうそうそう。
まだいるまだいる。65秒上がんない。ヘブンしかないよこれ。いいよ。ヘブン上がるわ。ビトこれ降りてころなきビトこれ。これ取ってよ。はいよはいよ。そう。スタン来てるスタン来てる。
どういどうい。
ね入ってるなった。大丈夫ジョーカーしてるよ。オッケーオッケー。茨城来た目の前。
まあまあまあ。
これ出ない出ない。
ああ。
出ない。
And they're just so quick to receive, already kind of marking the positions, knowing exactly where GenG are going to approach from. And you can see how effective those kinds of rushes or set plays can be. The Breach is actually able to cover quite a bit. You start off with a flash, maybe you get some main control. The fault line comes in, blocks off, I guess from their POV would be the right side of the site. And players like Rascal would have nothing to do. They turn into a sitting duck, and the whole team from the back end are just not able to fight back either. So I guess it can work out for now, but I'm curious to see what kind of adjustments GenG brings into it. They're trying to fight for control this time.
Yeah, I think they have to do something different over on A, whether it be play a little bit more aggressively, as they are obviously in this round, or actually play a little bit more for the retake, you know, set up around tree, set up a bit more towards heaven instead of on the side itself, so that a lot of that breach util is going to be ineffective.
At least for now, though, they don't have the guns.
Obviously,
so
yeah.
Already peeking out, not seeing anything towards B main. They're a bit curious about middle, so the drone comes out. This should give them enough information that it's going to be an A hit once again, hence we see Karan moving into position with Stinger.
Oh, it's the kind of weapon that can do a bit of damage at a range like this one. Drone's going to go forward though. Here's the paranoia from Karan just to try and buy a little bit more time to allow the rotates to come across. But it seems as though Zeta are not interested in committing to A.
Wow, this is so safe. Right, spotted the flash, calls for a rotation. Which path are they then going to take? They don't see anything towards middle. It's still more of an unknown territory. They hear the one flash. They want to pounce on it.
All right, it's a good kill on Rascal. And now the push comes in once again. It is Absol leading the charge. Surely nothing for Karan tucked in the corner. He just eats util. And a couple of bullets set up. Another clean entry onto A.
Very safe. Minimal risks taken. And because of that, minimal damage sustained as well. You could just see how they kind of go in with their thought process. Of course, sometimes you're going to get surprised by heads-up duels anyway. Maybe a weapon picked up now. Texture can do a bit more damage.
Or save.
Or save, yep. Still really kind of early. If he gets one more kill, I wouldn't mind seeing him go for it.
Yeah, good opportunity to try and charge that Tour de Force back up again. if he gets another kill or two, but
Zeta's
surely an
not doing
unwinnable round at this point. Hoping that there's someone on the side itself that's going to give him a duel, but that's just not going to happen, so the Spike is going to get the better of Texture here.
No, he's not going to be able to get out. Oh well. Not the worst thing in the world. He still has quite a bit of cash for the next round, maybe an op to be brought in, and I think that would be a pretty big upgrade for GenG as well. I mean, it's quite clear that that's what this comp is intended to do. They already have the double duelists, and if Texture is able to lock off an info line like he used to do back then, Masters Shanghai, everyone's talking about it. Go push into B main, lock that effectively outright. This could be quite a bit of control for GenG, but no, they station him on towards A instead.
I was going to say, you know, where do you put that up if you're going to pick it? Do you want to put it over towards A, which is where the hits have been coming? He's obviously a relatively safe agent to be holding a site solo, so all he has to really do here is get one shot off, port back to safety, and then play for the retake. That's the goal, for him at least.
Has to be. The rest of the team just trying to work around information. They don't see anything towards middle. Texture, is he up to the task?
Off your feet!
Oh no.
That's going to make it tough, and it immediately pushes him off of the site, so doesn't even get the chance to play for one. He's going to push forward, and Absol this time will not win the opening duel.
Spike planted.
The first time in about 3 rounds that he hasn't actually found that initial pick, so it does give GenG a little bit more room to work, but Eco forcing them back away. Rascal covers off that initial kill, maintaining the numbers advantage, but now Hunter's Fury doing its work. XDLL looking for a little bit more, can't quite convert on the 3rd shot, but still, GenG now retaking with 3, and Shooter does get Texture as he drops down right in front of him, trades back on through. XDLL stuck in behind the smoke, but Shock Darts don't really care about the smoke. They've gone too deep. No way. Karen's just going to be able to sit the defuse. The lineup wasn't there. The kills eventually are, but GenG take around.
They demand a fight.
Yeah, it's still a little bit messy from both sides, though, either way. I mean, yeah, you could talk about the shock darts. You could talk about, you know, the unfortunate mishap for Texture, waterfalling down, not quite able to land the shot instead. But that just tells you how desperate both teams are for success in this stage of Pacific. They need those points. They are fighting tooth and nail. Rolling Thunder for entry. Hunter's Fury just to try to fend off GenG. GenG actually gets the retake in with some lovely trades and utility, especially with Ash back in with a relay bolt. But even then, no op retreat for this round. Texture's forced to go out to the open, gets punished for it.
Yeah, tough. He's trying to push forward. He's trying to make something happen, as has been his modus operandi throughout this map so far, but this time a nice set play from Zeta just dispatches him. Now you'll see aggression on the other side of the map that, to be honest, Shoto was aware of. That wall was triggered. He opted to take that fight. In the end, lost it, and it's a 4-on-4.
Yeah, it's a very little bit of some micro-macro, you know, for both sides. Conditioning, they're starting to read each other's tendencies, always with the early A-main take. But this is, not gonna lie to you, gonna be a pretty tough retake for GenG.
Yeah. A few ultis available.
Planted.
Maybe you can rip the run it back, look for a bit of information. Ash can follow that in with the overdrive.
Zeta's quite far up front.
Fast lane thrown in, and Ash spamming through the smoke gets the better of Absol. That's going to incentivize the commitment here from GenG. There's that run it back that we're looking for. Sugar Zero dispatches of that one easily, and Karen drops it meanwhile as well. It's starting to fall apart for GenG. Zeta hold the site.
And that's just fantastic with how they're quickly able to recognize the situation. Knowing that they had quite a bit more space, Absol didn't spot anyone out towards heaven yet. The smoke then comes out, they start to spam through. Yeah, maybe Absol goes down a little bit earlier on than you would have liked if you're a Zeta fan, but look at how they worked around the positions all the way towards the end. Sugar Zero, Eco, pushing out from Tree. These are positions that GenG needed to mark extra angles. They all just focused on towards the ultimates instead, and despite being able to somewhat flood this site, everyone else from Zeta were able to hold. Even, I think, with the slide, was it an overdrive? I'm not entirely sure, but Shota managed to hold that. Everyone from Zeta managed to hold that. That's going to be quite worrisome. Yeah, you can see the timeout.
It's worst case scenario for GenG because they've invested their ultis and they've not got anything out of it. So now they're miles away from the run back, miles away from the overdrive. All they've got is Karen on the ulti, which...
Not a strong ulti.
Not a very strong ulti, and you're already kind of like losing these rounds. You're not having an easy way to hold on to the A site. You're not having an easy time of retaking the site either. Athena's family, who we just saw on the camera there as well, have rocked up to watch this game.
Love it.
And they're losing. So,
okay.
They're trying to figure it out. They're having a timeout. They're taking an opportunity to have the tap pause, have a bit of a chat, see if they can figure it out here. But the situation is a little bit grim right now for GenG. Their backs are against the wall.
Yeah, it feels that way. But looking at the scoreline as well, it's not impossible for them to bounce back. This timeout should come in handy. You've got the big operator back in business. Just different positions now. Suddenly execute then, but Ash holds true.
That's a little bit more like it. The quick double. Good flash as well coming through there from Rascal. An immediate response from GenG, and this is the first time that Zeta have really tried to aggressively, at least early, go towards B. And that's what GenG have been kind of setting up for most of the map, and it's worked out, finally.
So quick, just sticking with the same plan. I've got a judge somewhere close by as well, Karen hugging the corner. Curious to see why GenG isn't really moving outside yet, though. I see the smoke, but that should confirm it.
Wow. What a round from GenG. All it took was a timeout.
A timeout. And a big confidence boost for Ash as well, being able to land those first 2 frags. The judge is just unfortunate. Zeta, where's the mid-round? Nobody went back towards middle. Anything else?
I mean, it's hard, though. Like, you want a mid-round, but you're a 3v5, you know, so...
That's fair.
Your options are, if not limited, going to be very difficult. You know, you're kind of in a rock and a hard place type situation. Whatever decision you make there isn't the right decision when you're down 3-on-5. Like, you just can't win. It's like, what's the lesser of two evils?
Yeah, just pick something, I guess. Yeah. In that sense, they picked B main. We go back.
Same setup for GenG over towards B.
Okay, maybe a bit more of a mid play for Zeta then.
That's just going to opt to fade out the wall.
He's the one with the movement, so might as well do it. Drone out, watch his catwalk. Ooh, slight trades though.
That's fine. I think that's fine. You know, they're very aware, obviously, of the possibility that one of them will go down. Good trade from GenG. They still hold on to the space, which is what they were fighting for.
Oh, just more things for Zeta to worry about. They can't fully commit yet, but what is this? Sugar Zero, you're coming back.
Are you going to hard clear this line? I mean, you kind of have to. You kind of have to be aware that there's a possibility that someone has pushed their way out of A. They've droned in through middle. I don't think Sugar Zero is going to clear it. In fact, he might just bypass it. He's gone straight past.
Wait, he cancelled?
Never mind. No! He made the right choice and then the wrong choice. Here comes Rascal for the 1-for-1 to try and just cause a bit of a ruckus over towards B. The Spike has got into sight, though, so there can be a plan here, and there is a chance for Zeta to try to hold this off 2-on-3.
A chance. That's going to be the key phrasing.
Hunter's Fury's online. I don't know that you can use it here.
Probably not, unless he somehow managed to traverse back towards B main. It's too risky right now, so they're going to stay stuck in the site. Absol doesn't have utility either. This should be a big setup for GenG, who has pretty much a full kit. Karen with the flash, Recon coming in. Oh boy. Whoa, he's just going to rip it.
Yeah, I mean, might as well try and make something happen here. The connection's not really there. Paranoia does go through, and up close and personal, Absol is dealt with. It's XDLL that can't get it done. And GenG, off the back of their timeout, are building that recovery.
Very quick. I gotta have that little bit of Asian parent disappointment, and then that's motivation as well. So,
how did that usually go in your household?
Actually, my parents are pretty supportive.
That's pretty good.
I should have said something for more comedic value, but no. I mean, you look at Avina's score, he actually has 1 kill now, so gonna add that in. But like you said, right, that was kind of right call and then wrong call for Zeta. I'm very unfortunate, but with the cancel, not really anticipating some of the positions. GenG always having that 1 foot in the door already for the retake. The Hunter's Fury feeling a little bit desperate as well. You just kind of count your eggs.
We're going back to A, and that was where Zeta found all of their success.
Oh. What a molly.
Yeah, a bit more of a setup that time from GenG. The smoke came through from them as well. Zeta are still going to commit to it.
Texture's in position.
Oh, just looking for one, but gets pushed away by Util once again, and Zeta are into the side, so this is going to require a retake. It is, however, just up against the pistols, and it might be a little tough to get that plant down. Hunter's Fury is hunting. Shota will survive for now, though he copped a bit of a tickle. Plant going through.
Okay, Steel Garden by time as well. It's just going to try to equalize the firepower. They're fighting for tree. GenG also fighting for tree. There's a flash through, but Eco turns around and bops Rascal in the head. He's found a double. This might start to get dangerous. GenG need a recovery, and they're getting it in the form of Karen and Texture. And are putting some kills together. Shota still under balcony, will be traded down. It's now down to Sugar Zero and Athena in the 1v1, but this is all on the line for Sugar Zero. Easy, you'd think, but it won't be in the end. There's time for the defuse. And GenG will go to 6.
Okay. Yeah, we can heave a sigh of relief off of that one, but that was a round where Zeta made it quite risky. It was off of a half buy. It was Stingers and Sheriffs.
But they have so much delaying util. I mean, like, they just keep throwing pieces of util in here and there. And then, of course, a couple of really nice shots out from Eco make it interesting. But time pressure was already on.
I don't think it shouldn't have gone this far for Zeta, especially with GenG's full buy. But lovely stuff either way for Karen to be able to break out that crossfire. 50-50, he managed to make it work. You go again.
Here we go again for Texture as well.
Okay, what's the conditioning going to be? You have breach util, but you're not dumping it yet. You want to set up for tree and an A short push.
This could actually work out pretty nicely for Zeta, as they've got numbers, but so too to GenG, and Karen's able to double down just to keep it in check. A missed shot out of Texture. He is going to be pushed away from the site. Zeta are not interested. They want to reset the round.
2v2, they have quite some space to make it happen, so knowing that their opponents are going to be repositioning, they double back in towards A short just to poke through somewhat. Rolling Thunder is available, but I'm not sure if this is the run you want to use it. So maybe just a flash in. The smoke's kind of giving it away, though, but GenG are also split up. If Zeta are able to just bum rush, take down Athena, this is quite possible.
Well, they're not going to get past unspotted.
Do they have a smoke? Is it going to come back? No, they're just going to break it.
That'll be info.
30 seconds left.
Texture. Not moving.
Nope.
There's an opportunity.
Difficulty is Athena just needs to buy the time. You do get that investment through from Zeta. Athena
you have to secure a kill.
Oh, it's really copying everything, but still gets a kill. Makes it much more winnable here for Texture in the 1v1.
It's just down to the up and Headhunters, though.
It feels like a must-win round, though, for Zeta. Eco's really got to get this one over the line. And he's going to walk right into the crosshair. Texture misses the shot. Headhunter out. But the swing comes back on in, and Zeta will win. Another round for themselves.
Okay, that's a big confidence round for Zeta, and some fancy little footwork from Eco as well. Played that safe, played that right, had information, went out for the swing after the whiff shots. And of course, it's elevation as well. I mean, GenG does good to recognize where the hit's approaching from, especially off of that drone. They tried to get ahead, but still with numbers, Zeta are able to reset the round. And then now we go into the last round of the first half. Okay, Eco, it's still early.
Yeah.
But what a way to do it. Sudden aggression from GenG.
Oh, and it's dealt with pretty well by Shota. He was alone on the B side of the map. Gets the 1-for-1 against 3. You have to take that. Burns that runner back as well.
Zeta to call for a slight pause too off of it, but just unsure.
Karen's on the move again, and Karen has got a lot of space outside of B.
He's learned a thing or two, having played different roles back then in stage 1, back onto the controller now as well, so he's a bit more comfortable, but having that courage to go out for certain lurks, it's pretty lovely, especially when you know you're against Zeta, a team that operates so safely. Look at them, they're shift walking every step of the way.
Walking into a pretty solid setup over towards B here, and you've got that rotate coming through from Rascal as well. Drone is going to start to give away the intentions. That conversion path invested by Zeta, and the entries are actually not bad. Third player over there can't get anything done. You would have thought that would have been a round-winning setup for GenG, but it's not. Now Texture has to get it done, this time against 2.
He's picked up a rifle. Still has the snipes.
He just doesn't have any util to dig them out of position. That's the difficulty. He's got to push his way forward, and
his TP is pretty far off as well.
You know, you can't really win
a 1v2 in these circumstances, unless a mistake is made by Zeta, unless they give him a peek. But if he has to get in close range and try and take them on, it should not go his way. There's an angle and a connection as well, but through the wall, not enough. And so 6-6 is the first half score.
Switching sides.
Thinking about EWC results, this is not what I would have expected, but what a way for Zeta to be able to answer back. Fault line out towards stairs. They started to have an inkling that Texture could have been approaching out from that fast lane instead. And unfortunately, with that tour de force shot whiffing, if it actually landed, Eco might have been slowed down by the field. But well, thanks to that, now he gets his little moment to comedically pop off on the stage. A lovely bit of fun, especially considering that he has played against these teams before as well, played on these teams. So 6-6 will go again.
Yeah, it looked for a moment like GenG was really going to pull ahead there. But yeah, last couple of rounds in the back end there for Zeta, a couple of clutches. 1v1 and a 2v1. So doesn't matter how you get the rounds done necessarily. Keep yourself in a competitive position, which they have done. Anything can happen in the second half.
But it really just makes you wonder, you know, what's going on as well with the teams. Like earlier on, they started off pretty well with the pistol, the way they were pushing out, Texture having that adventurous sense within him to continue hunting for peaks. But then ever since the timeout, you know, he's been swapped over to more anchor duty. But especially for that last round, right? He was anchoring out towards short, didn't see anything. They should have kind of gotten a slight read for it, especially with the convergent paths coming through.
Yeah.
It's just the whole team, even with off angles being held, they weren't able to take down Zeta as they pushed through. That's a little bit worrisome.
Probably did need to be a little bit cleaner from GenG. They had the right setup, like you're saying. But end of the day, 6 is enough for both teams to work with. See how the second half plays out. Now GenG are the ones on the offense, and they were trying to be pretty proactive on their defensive side as well. So I think this will suit them.
Especially with those duelists in hand, Ash can be still quite deadly. Early Thorns pop. GenG still sticking around while Zeta pushes out middle.
Absol's going to have to try to exit that awkward situation, but GenG across the map are finding their picks. One towards tree, two towards middle. Absol's hiding inside that smoke, but low on HP, so feeling a little bit wary about things. And this round,
Sugar0
in the direction of GenG again.
He's definitely feeling kind of hot under the collar as well. Tries to create some space for himself towards main, but it's not clear enough. Bandit takes him down. And maybe the hops hurt as well for Texture. That's an easy headshot. Both pistols being claimed by GenG. There is a lot of confidence with this, within this team.
Well, no excuses if you don't win the map from here. You take both pistols.
Definitely have to. I can just see how much desire there is for this team to go back to their former glory. Taking both pistols, pushing out. Even though they were kind of met with some resistance outside of middle, Ash immediately dips back in towards tree, gets a headshot off the Sheriff. It's that kind of confidence that you want to see in a team like this. Off to the next round, though. A bit of a Marshall, the rest of them on rifles, but not seeing any movement from Zeta yet. Can be quite unsettling in some situations. Zeta have themselves a pretty neat stack on the B site.
Texture's just doing Texture things, though.
Yeah, he can always dip back out.
Aye! Or not. Yeah, walk into that high-low, you're going to have problems.
All right. Pretty clear read then from this point forward. A side is clear. GenG should be looking to push in, but they're a bit wary because of that smoke. What a good time and what a sneaky position as well for Sugar0.
They have made a lot of noise on this rotate, so Zeta have almost beaten them to the punch. Not quite, but they do have 5 players over here immediately for the retake. They're going to have a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, especially down to the guns, but they have so much utility, Zeta. Flashes, fault lines, everything.
Oh, and Ash just caught out in no man's land. Someone has got to chime in soon for GenG, otherwise the numbers are going to overwhelm them. Luckily, Rascal can do just that. Tries a flash to slow things down. Now needs to probably chance his way through that smoke. Karen with some sharp shooting will keep it alive. It could have been awkward, but in the end, GenG will navigate the treacherous waters, and they build themselves a 2-round lead. Yeah, current map MVP so far, and his stats just continue to build. Charon broke up the crossfire from P4, and now he's once again showing off his mechanics. Just being able to play like that. I mean, it is kind of an anti-eco, so don't really put that much stake into it, but it's still lovely to witness. However, at the same time, I do have to point out, this is what Zeta's composition can do. If they don't spend that much utility in the first half of the round, and they save up for it, the retakes can be quite lethal. So much to throw against their opponents, depending on how it goes. And right now, just the delaying and stalling from the Vise onto this B site.
Oh. That's a big gun in the hands of XDLL. And they're walking right into him, but it won't matter if Texture's got a headshot to hand out. Here comes the commitment from GenG, smoking towards middle, drone out as well, and they're sending Rascal forward. Ash did kind of get caught in the crossfire, so it's back to 4-on-4, but that's just such a nice creep from Texture onto the line. Shota had no idea. Absol's got way too much to watch. And GenG with a very sneaky entry really into B.
Managed to find a lot of success. Sheer Wall still committing in, and that's especially thanks to, well, what's more meta. Rascal with this Phoenix has a round 3, run it back. Although still down with the trades though, Zeta still trying to find some damage wherever possible, but yeah, now you have a taste of your own medicine. You bought up an Odin, you're gonna have to die by the Odin.
He's gonna hold on to it to the next round as well.
It might not be as potent now, especially with some of the map changes. Certain areas no longer spammable, but certain areas still are. You know, for example, like Boathouse with the little walls and corners, but...
Oh, the fadeaway, that's insane.
It's gotta be pretty lovely, you know, having gone off the stage for a while and now coming back to it with such a team. Either way, though, moving forward, we're gonna have to listen in to one of the teams.
GenG.
Or not.
Yeah, well, soon. We'll hear from them as they try to break down the round.
It's all just pistols from Zeta, though. I'm curious what they're thinking. Not seeing too much yet.
근데 스모크 형 스모크 다 빠졌다. 커버. 스턴 저기래. 브리치 소바야. A
불력 찍어 먹을게. 불력 찍어.
더안 나왔어.
커버해줘.
B 소바 브리치였어.
A 모여서 A 그냥 가자.
가게.
내가 바이스일 수도 있다. 스턴 없고 플래시 하나 빠졌게.
와인까지 체크해볼게.
아?
또 와인.
드론이랑 불벽으로 펌핑할 거고.
불벽 없어.
으로 가자.
불벽 없대. 나 스모크로 할게.
I heard A. I think they're still pretty intent on it, but that smoke does buy a bit of time for Zeta. They are set up to maybe pick some shots as they try to execute GenG.
Yeah, I mean, Zeta's got numbers here. Just don't really have the firepower. It's gonna have to be some sharp shooting out of those sheriffs. XDLL and Eco have one in hand. It's a good start for Texture. Could have gone either way. Shota does some decent damage, but it's really not going to be enough. Sheriffs aren't even allowed to play. XDLL deleted.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Nothing really there. 10-6, double digits secured for GenG, and they are rampaging their way towards a victory here. There's going to have to be timeout soon for Zeta, you'd think.
Kind of hope for it. I believe it is coming into the next round. Just see the timer being paused. And they definitely do have to kind of work around GenG's aggression. GenG now with that confidence, with a lot more decisive calling. They see little gaps, they take down one player outside of B main, and they're like, yeah, we kind of know where we want to go. Let's double back in towards A site. And they've been showing this such more decisiveness in the past several rounds now, especially since swapping over onto the attack side. Look at that, 4 rounds in a row. Everyone's just continuing to pad stats. Texture almost mirroring Charon pretty soon.
Yeah, I think Texture's just loving this game, right? He looks very free. He's kind of getting to do what he wants. He's been on the sort of anchor solo side of the picture. When he was on the defense, he was sort of solo holding sides and, you know, doing what he needed to do, getting aggressive in circumstances where he could. And now on the attack, kind of just lurking around. He's been that
X-Factor player. So he's having a good time, getting to play the game that he wants to. He's probably calling his own shots, and the rest of the team being directed around. And it's working nicely for GenG at the moment.
Definitely is, especially now they're on double digits as well. It's extra pressure for Zeta. They have an op in this round, though. I want to see what it does. Absol stationed towards B. Zeta has to make calls as well. Try to get a good read for how their opponents are playing, but so far it's been somewhat passive. They should be hearing footsteps towards middle.
I don't know how much that's going to help them, though. You know, obviously, that you've lost mid control, but map's kind of cut in half now, unfortunately, for Zeta.
Like, Sugar Zero, maybe... No, he can't. It's just not safe yet. The drone does come in to check and clear a bit. They start to set up some kind of a trap towards market, maybe.
Okay, that's a good clear. But you don't want to be going any further. That's a pretty insane setup from XDLL and Eco. This does end up being a B split, though. Those two are going to have a lot of work on their shoulders.
It's an Odin.
Ball goes up. Here comes Ash. Good swing, but there's that setup. Eco and XDLL causing a bit of an issue, and now you need the B main players to activate. They have not. GenG haven't quite got it right this time around. A missed shot from Texture. He makes amends for it off screen. Still, the numbers are at a deficit for GenG, but they have been able to walk their way into B. Texture is in a forward hold position. Athena is going to get the Hunter's Fury as well. So could use that to delay, and will. Oh,
no tag.
Well, it was a tag, not quite connecting onto XDLL, but that's close as well.
Texture has an angle.
Yeah, buys a bit of time. Texture has to hit this next shot. In fact, probably almost has to swing right now and have a look. And he does! Ooh. And he does connect as well, and back onto the line. XDLL going to try to pre-fire the corner. Athena waiting on an off angle will delete Sugar Zero. And now we're back in action. It is going to be a wallbang battle. The Odins looking for one another. XDLL gets the better of Athena, but that time is ticking ever so quickly. And Texture, has he got it done? I think he has. No time for the defuse. GenG are going to 11.
Oh my god, what a turn of events. Odin for Odin still, and it prevails. But ultimately, with Texture landing that one shot, slowed down Sugar Zero by a step. That was enough for XDLL to come back in as well. I mean Athena to come back in. And that's maybe not as clean as some people would have liked, but either way, it's a great step forward for the Korean team that used to be at the top of their game. Now they're starting to climb back towards it. 11-6 pistols for Zeta. Feels like they're poised to get map point.
Yeah, you would think so. Zeta's going to try and do something a bit more aggressive.
Where's this coming from?
XDLL really investing. No real connections, though, going his way. Texture hoarding back on out. Doesn't actually get connected by that Hunter's Fury. He got two before he fell, so that's mission successful as far as GenG is concerned.
And with that, then able to make a swift call towards the A site. Vice is down, so the utility's not going to bother them. They're just a bit more worried about the positions, trying to get a good read for it. Some slight timing. Zapsel gives off his position. So now everyone's quite aware. A main being held to Karen continuing to mark the back. He spotted them. What?
Okay. Spanner in the works, maybe. Rascal still holding on to his position and buying a lot of time. He's not going to get the kill. Eco is doing a lot of work with the Sheriff at the moment. The shot going through as well. How is Eco putting this together? Athena, the last man standing, will try and hold it down. Defuse is safe for now, but Athena could get it done. The shot dart pushing him off the defuse. There's another one through, and Athena gets it done. GenG will indeed get to 12, but by the skin of their teeth.
Oh, yeah. Definitely should not have been seeing Eco do that much damage. It was kind of unsightly, but very impressive indeed. Fault lines, every bit of utility. The rolling thunder after he smelled that slight bit of scent of victory. But even then, New IGL steps onto the plate. Debut game,
And he comes in with a Red Bull clutch. Shock darts to make it happen as well. That is a hell of a bullseye. We go into the next one, which could be the last. A desperate buy for Zeta.
Gonna fall back here.
Bold line for Absol. Especially now that it's been smoked off. Drone's gone up and over the top. There's nothing really in mid that GenG have to worry about.
You could just sink everything into the B hit. Sheer wall stands in their way, of course, and they've seen that several rounds already. Just playing it reserved as well, giving themselves options to back out if needed, or to build up onto ults. Look at that. Rascal one away from running back.
Might not be even required the way things have been going here for GenG. Sheer wall does get triggered, so again, Zeta aware that there's some happenings in B main.
Karen, off timing, sees that there is no lurk push. Now starts to rendezvous with the rest of his team. They can just make a full rush in towards B site.
This is a good push from Absol. I just think it might be a little bit too little too late as we see that hit coming through. Shota lining up two inside of that fast lane. Ash and Athena had no idea. It's a missed shot though from Absol. Maybe GenG can have an avenue back in if they can pick him here in middle. He has stuck around. 13 seconds left on the clock though. They are just not going to go for it.
Can't. There's really not much to do. GenG, a little bit unfortunate for this round, but they should have themselves a pretty good idea of how Zeta tends to set up. Absol towards middle, maybe towards some extremities of the map, but also the Vise plus Sova to anchor down the B site. With the ultimates coming up in the next round, Zeta need to anticipate a potential, execute a potential hit somewhere. They've done pretty well in this round, especially with Shota being able to get those anchor shots off of B main. But the next round is where things really start to thicken.
Well, it's first round in the second half for Zeta.
Hey, look at that.
Better than nothing. But they are going to need another 5 in a row to make this a map of any interest from here.
Oh my god. This is a weird swap.
Enemy mark.
There's not much in terms of utility from Zeta. The delay hits on towards the B site. Vise is elsewhere. They have some information though, at least.
It's a lot of territory taken early on in the round though for GenG that Zeta now are forced to play back on the B side. They don't have any info on the B side of the map right now.
3 middle, op herd. GenG has a pretty good idea. Zeta's intention was to try to cut GenG off as they maybe tried to rotate back over onto A side, but that's not happening now. Zeta are slow to rotate. They have no other information anywhere else. It's just Shota. He does have Steel Garden though.
Yeah, he's got the Thorns and he's got the wall as well. That could really slow GenG down. Here they go. But again, straight into that util. It's going to be the run it back that should burn all of it and maybe even get a kill here. Shota's going to go down. That is a miracle. A bit of magic from Rascal. I thought surely he could get nothing done, but in the end, an important opening, and that might seal the deal for GenG. A 4-on-5 retake now required for Zeta.
And not much else to make it happen too. Convergent path, sure. Yeah, fault line, everything flashes, but they need to find the kills too. Look at where GenG are positioned already. They know they have space.
Those convergent paths don't connect onto anybody either. Rascal tucked in the corner, lets the first go by, and then deals with the second. Not quite the third, but there is still enough coverage on this site for GenG to feel comfortable right now. A swing from Ash and a miss. That's not what you want. 2-on-2. Hunter's Fury in from Athena to play a delay, and Zeta just cannot afford that delay. There is no time. The map is done. They will not get the defuse. 13-7, GenG close map 1.
Just as quick as it happened. Not even double digits for Zeta. They did have a pretty curious composition. Happy, intrigued for a second, I will say that. But either way, in the game itself, in some of the micro plays, in some of the intentions that you start to witness from how GenG tried to operate, you can tell that this team has found confidence, texture, popping off round after round. Karen as well.
100%. Happy days for the GenG fans in the crowd, there's no doubt about that. We're going to head it down to the stage in a second, see what Gen has to say.
Ascent is in the bag for GenG. Now I'm standing here with Coach Solo. Solo, congratulations. First things first, what did you think of Raxcal and Athena's performance on Ascent, and how would this addition affect the way GenG plays in Stage 2 moving forward? 감독님 일단 어센트 승리 축하드리고요. 먼저 최근에 합류하게 된 에피나 선수와 락스칼 선수의 1세트 퍼포먼스에 대해서 어떻게 생각하셨는지 들어보고 싶고요. 그리고 이 두 선수의 합류로 인해서 좀 어떤 변화를 기대해보면 좋을지 궁금합니다.
지금 뭐 초반에는 조금 저희가 비슷하게 갔지만 그래도 후반에 나gen이 선수가 에피나 선수가 오더를 잘해줘가지고 네, 그리고 민석이 락스칼 선수도 개인적으로 연습 때만큼 잘해줘서 쉽게 이긴 것 같고 그리고 두 명의 선수가 좀 그 장난도 잘 치고 그리고 에피나 선수가 너무 저희 팀을 항상 웃게 만들어줘요. 그래서 약간 분위기가 좀 업되는 게 있는 것 같습니다. 네.
약간 그 텍스처 선수의 시너지가 많이 나는 것 같더라고요. 알겠습니다. Well, yeah, I think in the first half it was neck and neck, but then the second half, Athena started making really good calls, and Raxcal was able to perform as he does usually in practice as well. So I think we were able to kind of close it out in an easier way. Compared to how first half went. And I think in terms of Athena, he really brings that energy. He makes us laugh a lot. So I think we have that good vibe going on. I think we can expect a lot more from this team going forward with these two players on the team. Thank you very much, Solo, and best of luck in the next match. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Well, it was a close first half between these two teams, but GenG ended up stepping through here and winning out on Ascent. And I like what Solo has to say about the two newest members to GenG. Athena, unsurprisingly, is the vibes guy happening and making everyone laugh throughout. But Raxcal, he's new. He's so young, and he's new to the stage. And Solo has expressed how, like, this is what we need. What we need is his good performance happening in practice, happening in scrims, to come through here on the stage. So looks like it paid off so far.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried for him in that first half. It took a while to get into the game, but then in the second half, I felt like both of them came alive. Athena with those big clutches to keep the momentum going for GenG, and really solid Phoenix play from Raxcal. So very, very impressive debut for them. They do steal away their opponent's map pick of Ascent.
Yeah, I think Zeta are going to be a little bit disappointed with that. Very clear that they had some good ideas. I think particularly the attacking half, especially with this execute-heavy comp, it was easy to organize themselves. But when we moved over to the second half, whether you talk about Athena or Lakia being on the team, something that has been a constant for GenG when you have Texture on the chamber and Ash on the Neon is how well they can play slowly on attack, bait out traps, be able to kind of take their time with the game. And against particularly the comp Zeta was running, that is really what their win condition was. Texture and Carol both had phenomenal games, but I honestly really felt like GenG just completely out-macroed Zeta.
Definitely. So it's good to see the core members of GenG playing, you know, to the standard that we're used to seeing them play with, especially with two new members on the team. And Zeta, like you said, really good ideas for the attack side, but then
it's hard though. Like, you know, they're playing this execute heavy comp where you need to hit your traps. If you don't hit your traps, then you're going to lose the game. And unfortunately, when you have a Frenchman that can just walk through the map and just hit an instant button to bait out your entire trap with no recourse, or you throw up your Neon fast lane or something like that, it's honestly pretty annoying.
Yeah, I don't think the Vice is the perfect sentinel really for those trap plays. Yes, there's the wall to get that sort of passive info, but by nature, it splits them in half, so I just don't think it's the perfect level of synergy there. Taking a look at the scoreboard, I want to shout out, obviously, Texture on that chamber. This is a performance we want to see, but Karen on that Omen, he's back home. He's back on the role that we wanted to see for so long, and surprise, surprise, he's putting up the numbers.
I'm glad that we were very devastated throughout stage one every time he was not on the Omen.
I was angry.
Yeah,
I was angry because he's so good at it. He's so clearly good at it, and that felt really, really great to see. On the flip side, Aiko there really stepping up in numbers towards the end. XDL, I think, pretty solid throughout in the fragging department as well. But I gotta be honest, that's a little bit worrying if you're Zeta Division. Those aren't the two guys I want to see at the top of the
I mean, at
scoreboard.
the end of the day, I feel like you're playing solo Waylay as Absol. You're literally the guy that's diving into the site off the back of the util and trying to make space a lot of the time. And I think a couple of times on the attack side, he was caught over-aggressing. On the defense, Zeta actually did make the adjustment that I wanted to see. They pulled out the op, but unfortunately it was so late into the half because they lost the second half pistol, and then I think the bonus or one of the opening gun rounds, like the GenG immediately had full momentum, and by that point you only have a few gun rounds to get it together. They were able to win one or two of them, but they just dug themselves too big of a hole, unfortunately, Zeta.
Well, in fact, let's zoom in a bit more on the breach, okay?
Yeah.
This is the one we have the most question marks about.
So if you're going to play the breach, it's a bit of a gimmick comp, but the most important thing is you have these strong, powerful executes because you have so much util. Yeah, you see them slam A. They do it again and again and again, and they dump the util in A main and all over the site, and it's completely blanketed. This is Texture trying to play forward with that chamber, but you can't get it done when there's util in your face.
Yeah, at the end of the day, his job is to absorb utility, slow the other team down, but what the GenG comp does very well is bully space. You can slam yourself in a paranoia, a relay bolt into a main, and if the other team gets caught by it trying to set up one of those executes, they're going to get absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, I think that was a really nice timeout adjustment to know that the Neon can beat that trap. It can get in front of the util. They sort of countered that aggression with their own faster paced aggression with the double duelist, and then you saw them manage to disrupt that half and then snowball that momentum into the attack.
I think at the end of the day, like recently, we haven't seen, unfortunately, GenG be a particularly competitive team. Although they had some very, very close games with some very, very good teams in the group stage last time. But I think they're a little bit underrated for how they understand to use the chamber, and then the Neon comps in particular. They make some pretty good adjustments as I've been seeing, and I think that's just one example of them in that last game.
And we can't count out the coaching staff as well. You know, that timeout like you called there, he has so much experience winning and losing now at this point that Solo and his coaching staff have managed to pull through. And, you know, you were laughing at my hot take earlier about GenG winning groups. I know this is still day
Calm
one.
down. It's map 1 Zeta Division.
I know.
We gotta chill.
But is it so hot anymore?
No, I will
Maybe
say,
it's okay.
I think they dealt with it well. You know, those breach comps are often good for getting that first win on the board because it's hard unless you have practice against it. So GenG did really well to stave that off, and they will be moving on to their own map pick of Sunset, which is in itself a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one. We've seen GenG play this in the past, though, with various iterations of their rosters. I remember Texture running around on this map and having a pretty good time a number of times, so it's going to be well and truly within their wheelhouse. It's up to see what Zeta will be putting together on this map in particular, because I don't think we've seen either one of these teams play this map.
Yeah, I mean, I think comp-wise for me, for GenG, I think they can run more or less exactly what they ran on Ascent. I think the Chamber is strong here. I think the Double Duelist is strong here. It wouldn't surprise me if this is an archetype that they've adapted across most of their maps because the meta is very favored to this style right now.
I mean, the last time I remember memorably Zeta playing Sunset was when Dev was still on the roster. They were running that Phoenix with him, and they had some success there, but it's a completely different roster now. Dev is so far gone at the moment. So I think this is going to be interesting at the very least. It could be just as interesting as seeing a breach on Ascent.
I mean, you could see a breach. You might see Jet, by the way. We haven't finished off Challenges Japan. You could still make it back in, to be honest.
Yeah, but over at EWC, we saw Nongxin play the breach on this map, so that makes me wonder if we're going to see it from more and more teams. I kind of don't want to see it because they've already shown that GenG are able to beat that style, so I think if they have a breach ready for this next map, they'll be a little bit worried that they have to execute much, much better.
You could definitely play Chamber on this map as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see them just keep slamming the exact same thing.
You know, Zeta's really good at having a couple of game plans. I think the thing they need more is a couple more game plans. You know, if the other team ends up adapting.
They need less game plans. They need more shoot the other team in the head plans.
They need more DMs. That's what they need. That's what I'm getting at here. Because it does just feel like there was a little bit of an aim difference. I felt like XDL was holding his own, but that was kind of it in the heads-up aim duels. GenG just looked that little bit sharper.
I mean, look, I say it all the time, but it's like Zeta Division is trying to do all this fancy stuff, and Texture's just walking up, and he's just going to hit one button on his keyboard, and then it's like, yeah, nice util, boys. Like, that was great. That was a great plan, but I don't really care.
I think it's really tough. You know, last stage, you almost forget how good, especially Texture and Karan are.
Yeah.
And they showed up today. That must suck a lot for Zeta Division, who isn't particularly known for like that kind of firepower when it comes to their roster. So I think it's gotta hurt a bit. And I do wonder what Zeta is gonna be doing to adapt to this GenG, who's looking a lot more like they want to win it all. So we'll just have to wait and see. Let's send it to the stage and see what they have to say.
Here, Coach Ryota of Zeta. Now, Coach, interesting comp on Ascent. Talk to us about the double initiator with the breach.
非常に面白い構成をアセントで使用していて、2位にでブリーチ、どういった背景があったのか。
自分たちのこのステージ2をやるにあたってちょっと自分たちの強みを探しているときにこの構成にたどり着きました。はい。
Yeah, we were trying out a lot of like different types of comps, and we found that this was our like best fit comps for the Ascent. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, and best of luck on Sunset.
Well, they had a couple different comps for Ascent, and this was the best one, he said. Morgan, you're making expressions.
Yeah, I mean, if that's their best one, I don't want to see that worst one. That's all I gotta say. We'll see if they do run with something similar here on Sunset. We have the Agent Select coming in now, and it's very different in style. Oh, borderline mirror matchups here, just a change in the Sentinel. GenG going for texture on that chamber, but Zeta Division is that Cypher.
Yeah, I will say, you know, on one side of things, the Cypher might actually give them a fair bit of trouble here. The trips are going to be a little bit difficult for Zeta. They are standing out on the defense first. I think how you play around the Sage util going to be very important. Similar to baiting out those traps in this case, bait out the wall, force out the slow orbs. It's going to naturally slow down the pace of the game. And what I want to see, as always, is surely we're going to see a wall over a wall.
Yeah. Classic. I love it. I love Sage on
You
this
think
map.
so?
I love Sage on every map. Always give me the wall over the wall. That's what we're talking about.
You do love your Sage.
I think it's great. It's so fun.
He's the Sage guy.
He is the Sage guy. It is fun.
He loves it when they throw the slow orb down. It's like, okay, guys, we've got to slow down here. That just makes me thrilled. That, you know, dump a slow orb in a choke point, I'm just ecstatic. I leap out of my chair. Yes, they did it!
Yes, I think you've been so traumatized. This is why he is an analyst here on VCT Pacific after those experiences. But I am excited to see what these two teams will be bringing to Sunset. I feel like it's been far too long since we've seen this map. We've had some fantastic and wild plays coming out from the teams here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really fun map. I can't wait to see what Pacific has cooked up. It's always interesting when a new map comes back in. People have different takes on the meta. These two teams rocking with something fairly similar, so it's all going to be about execution in this map too.
Yeah, especially with the minor adjustments, the buffs happening to the Sentinel players. I expect a lot of that to come through in this map of Sunset. I mean, did you guys have a favorite Sunset comp from
the Sage.
Previous iterations?
Other
teams, yeah, besides Sage.
No, I like the Paper X Sage. I was playing Sage when this map was first around. I feel like
especially with Manya.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think the choke, especially on B, is so tight. You have a lot of stopping power. You also have that space to fight forward, and it makes your retake so much stronger. That's going to be a big thing to watch out for on both defensive halves here. If you can hold onto that wall, the retake becomes incredibly strong.
I mean, I really used to like their double E-knee with the breach, to be honest. You could dump traps on the choke points. You know, you're able to mid-round your way through some of these rounds. Again, though, I got my eyes on texture here on this attacking side. He was just dry walking in B main and winning rounds by himself, so Zeta need to address that here.
All right, casters, let's see if these two teams are going to give us something spicy for Sunset.
Spicy? You like spicy, don't you, Quack? Sure. Especially if the teams are able to, you know, give us some upsets. Maybe. What would be an upset here? Is Zeta getting the win? Yeah, I think so. Especially for this map, at least, with the expectations we've had so far. With what we've seen from map number 1 already, it feels like GenG has one foot in the door already. But who knows, especially with the compositions here. Well, but Big Time had some opinions about that one as well, and I feel like I share similar sentiments. I mean, texture on the chamber just fits like a glove. Yeah, I mean, he had a great map in map 1. If he can do it again here in map 2, GenG might be off to a flyer of a start in stage 2. They did most recently get a 2-0 over Zeta in their previous matchup. Feels like it could be similar stories as well, but this Sage for both teams is going to be already quite an interesting one as well. Granted, it's been a while since we've seen this map, but just last night, Tyloo EDG, Sage was used by Tyloo to take down, you know, championship quality EDG as well, so who knows. We start things off with some slight pushes out. Oh, what a blender.
Yeah, but
GenG are the ones that are doing the majority of the blending.
And the wall.
Zeta are the blendies. Ooh, maybe Eco is fighting back. Good attempt. Now into the 1v2 though, as Texture did pick up XDLL elsewhere off camera. Plant's gonna be committed here. The coverage is good from Texture, but he dives away from the line on the wrong timing. The plan hasn't gone down. Now it's really in check. Eco gets it done. That is a bit of a mishandle from GenG. It seemed like they knew where he was coming from, and then Texture peeked away from the angle, and I thought, what happened there?
Slight mistakes. I mean, let's take a look at it again. I mean, how often do we see these kinds of plays from Zeta? They had, you know, that trap composition back over on Ascent, but here they just swung out off of the smoke. Some sharp shooting from Eco. Granted, he was doing that over on Ascent as well. Almost brought a round back due to his Sheriff alone, if not for Athena's clutch. So this is now one pistol in the series for Zeta. Let's see if they can continue to build off of it. They've got pretty good guns already in their hands, but just a default 2-1-2 hold to start this round.
Looks like GenG going to be happy to take the ulti orb. Got a cage and a trip set up here for GenG to try to get past it. Well, not going to be easy. Shoto using that cage to perfection.
Definitely not. Meanwhile, Karen's on his own expedition to kind of check out the A main area. It's already been walled off. Texture.
Okay.
Gonna start this one off with some marksmanship. It's gonna be quite a ways away before they can actually start to push in, though it's not fully cleared out yet. So they want to see if Zeta's gonna be giving them more angles to work around.
Cover going out.
Texture's kind of stuck in the corner there. He needs to get some help to get out, and that looks to be in the form of GenG actually initially kind of committing towards this B site. Smoke does go down, which slows things, but they are still working their way forward, and they're actually starting to swarm onto the site. The wall goes up just a bit too late. Absol out in front and on top of it, and that plant will be denied. So, pretty good round, all things considered for Zeta.
Yeah, it's an attempt by GenG either way. You know, you want to try to get that spike down, get some extra money for the next one. But this is what you want to see from Zeta. You know, starting to get a good sense for how GenG's trying to approach this round. You saw the Sage. You actually get right into the position where the wall kind of boosts you up even. Yeah. And it's just extra sauce.
Extra spicy sauce.
Yeah, look at that. Gotta keep up that momentum. Japanese team saying that this is their best composition, best iteration yet. I mean, let's see some of that.
Guns in hand for GenG, first time in this map. Might bring with it a bit of change.
Decent damage from the round previous as well. So once again, Zeta off to more passive position. Shota could be scouting around a little bit more though. Has the camera in towards B main, kind of has an inkling of GenG's presence. Kind of calls some of the team over. Absol pushing down middle. Ooh. A treacherous path ahead of him.
Seems to have navigated it pretty nicely so far. He's kind of split the difference between the team and Texture. He's the meat in the sandwich. Ash is so close to death. They have no idea Absol has made this move, and it's all about whether or not he finds the timing. And if he does, it should be 2, which it will. And indeed also the spike drop too. That's a master stroke from Absol. Texture is able to dig out XDLL, but not at the cost of his life as well.
It's going to be a big trade now. GenG's only way forward is to pretty much step into this B site. Off angle's already held by Zeta.
Yeah. Too much to do. Great round though from Absol. That's the 4K. Has been a quiet start to the map from GenG. There's no doubt about that. It's a little bit quiet in here as well. I think the GenG fans are a bit perplexed about things so far.
You would have to be. It's a far cry from what we saw over on Ascent. Definitely slowing things down this much further. And in all that absence of noise, it's Absol who sneaks in. Like you said,
That's a lot more lively. Lovely to see Manny Zeta guy still always faithful in supporting the team too.
I'll say it, and I say it every time, but I wish I was that excited about anything in my life. They just look like they are having the best time.
Oh my god. I wonder what they're like when it's football. But now, either way, this is a very big chance for Zeta. They've gotten the bonus round. They can run away with this lead. Just several more rounds away from basically securing a lead for themselves for the rest of this map. And if they actually do manage to bring that to fruition, then you're looking at a map 3.
Yep. Yep, bit of a spanner in the works for GenG. Early tag timeout going to be called. We had our questions, I think, about Zeta on Sunset, but now I might have to have some about GenG as well.
Especially for this one. We'll kind of have our fingers crossed for the timeout. We'll see what Solo can cook up. It worked out pretty nicely for them back over on Ascent.
Yeah.
But for this round, though, partial buy, you got Tour de Force. I don't know. You're just going to rush an A?
Yeah, it might be a bit of a quicker one. Fast lane out here from Ash. And indeed, GenG trying to go fast, but they will be slowed down by that orb coming through from XDLL.
Quickly well played. Smokes as well coming out from Sugar Zero. Now all the positions being held. Thinking about the wall. Let's listen in.
근데 월 쳤다 월. 위에 조심하고 이거. 위에 나오는 건 내가 보는 중. 깰게. 쓰라면 낼게 이거. 펌핑 한번 하자. 펌핑 한번 하자 현철아 지금. 라우라. 하죠. 카페 하나 있고 기다려. 내가 열어줄게. 확인. 더 깰게 이거는. 나 리콘 대기. 그래 이거 짧게 가릴게. 기다려. 점핑 왁친다. 그럼 사이트 블락 까줘 이거. 리콘 스모크 깎고. 블락 깠어.
Well, no secrets as to where GenG are going. Zeta have rotated a few players across. Still stuck behind that dark cover for now. Sugar Zero boosts it up. Does get himself just the one. The trades are good from GenG. Eventually, they burst their way through in onto the site, but very low on Athena. Ash also tagged up as well. Spike will go down. Winnable retake here for Eco and Shota.
Very much so, especially with that wall. Athena, though, a different angle being taken by Shota.
Ballsy push. Athena's going to go down early. Brings it back to a 2-on-2. Karen is going to need some assistance in a second, but headshots are required, and they will be delivered. Karen for one, Ash on the line as well. They can double swing this line. Smoke goes out as well to make life more difficult for Eco. It was a hard-fought Thrifty, but GenG got it over the line.
There's just so much uncertainty coming out from Zeta. They weren't expecting that burst at all. Felt like they had the round, knew that GenG were sandwiched in towards elbow. But as soon as that Sage Wall gets propped up, even with, you know, the elevated position from Sugar Zero, Karen with some sharp shooting just gets it done, man. I mean, it blocks off so much for Zeta as they come in on the retake, forced to that one single angle, which at this point, GenG just had that down. The slight little sidestep from Karen even, a little microplay to offset the crosshair placement as Zeta swung. This is amazing. Now you start off with a round as some early pressure comes in, baits out so much utility from Zeta.
Yeah, GenG have kind of faked that they're going to go for the exact same thing they did in the previous round, and instead they reroute their way into mid, and they go fast as well. Zeta are scrambling to try to secure this rotation, but GenG are relentless into the B site. It's just Shota. Prowler is going to find him, and Rascal will finish him off. That is a real masterstroke of a mid-round call from GenG. Ash is revived, only to die again.
It's information. Now you kind of know Zeta's already there.
Yeah, I mean, Zeta, where are they coming from? Might be from the defensive spawn side. Possibly.
Nightfall as well.
Well, XDLL not going to have too much success with that walk up. Gets the slow orb through, but Rascal has another angle to fight on, and the backup of Karen as well. It just seems to be no way back in for Zeta.
One enemy remaining.
Shouldn't be. Down to just Sugar Zero, who desperately tries to tap onto the spike, but with his position revealed, that's an easy spray down. GenG back into the game, 2 and 3.
I love that round from GenG. That was a beauty.
That's some macro gaming right there, and that's what Pilly was talking about as well. GenG definitely clearly ahead of Zeta in terms of the macro game, right? Like off the previous round, like you mentioned, kind of thwarting the intentions, beating out that much utility, and it's so fluid from them as well, almost as though they already kind of pre-planned that. Yeah. Goes all the way up middle, down to the, you know, the res, perhaps. But I still think that one gives some slight information.
Sure, I mean, it's not the end of the world, is it? Especially given the circumstances. Now back to perhaps a bit of a slow round here for GenG. Gonna work their way out into middle, or at least Ash is. Going alone though, so wants to be a little careful here. Smoke's coming back. It would appear that Zeta want to recontest mid, and GenG will respect that.
Actually make use of that as a slight window to perhaps poke around elsewhere. Oh no.
Absol out of the picture early. Karen's going to find another.
This is just fishing. The bait was that early peek out from Ash. And unfortunately for Zeta, they actually bit it. Instant 3v5 on just pistols as well. This is going to be an easy slam from GenG. Full kit of utility as well. I mean, this one, you just flash, side, sprint in.
Rotates come across though from Zeta, so a couple of good shots and they could cause a bit of a ruckus. Slow orb will dislodge some of the ability for Zeta to actually have an impact on that entry. It's just going to be if GenG actually push forward, but they are being disciplined enough to avoid that. So no harm done really to GenG thus far. Now, time to push the issue. XDLL gets the better of Texture. The rest of GenG still kind of just waiting to figure out exactly where Eco was. Now that he's been spotted, I think they have a pretty good understanding of what they need to do on this map. And the answer is really nothing. Just hold position. XDLL and wanted to have a crack. It's not going to pay off. So 3-3. Rather laboured round in the end for GenG, but they get it done.
Takes a while. But this is off of the timeout. You can just see how effective it is as well. The coach's value definitely proving itself. This is, of course, an anti-eco, and yeah, you could maybe say Texture did get a little bit greedy, but you know what? They have cash to splash, so why not? It gives them information. They know exactly what they're working against, just holding those positions towards the end as well. It's always a little bit more difficult for Zeta, especially on the defensive side. They're lacking quite a bit of information that they would want otherwise. They had trap setups before over on towards A elbow, but not anymore this time. Different positions, but also great slows to kick things off. Early picks, early trades.
Slows everywhere. Wall's going to go up. XDLL,
he wants to res.
Slows things down even more. Wall's going to try and take the fight. Res was, I think, the last thing from his mind in the end.
Just gonna spot out his bonus barrel right before his eyes close. Ooh, Absol is thinking about it.
Yep. Nice line to find yourself on. Rascal walking straight at him. Routine shot for Absol. Brings it back to 3-on-3. Mid. Ooh, the push from Eco. Catches Texture off guard, but Athena has the chance to equalize. Oh, they're all out everywhere. Yeah, too many targets to shoot at. Now it's a drone. Meanwhile, by the way, Team B over towards B. Karen just to try and make something happen over there. It's all a bit messy. The plan is now down.
It's been revealed as well. TP might have been heard, or at least considered by Zeta. They're marking the A main position.
Where else could he be? There's a couple shots. There's a good couple of shots. Hang on, half tick, but it doesn't matter. Karen with a huge 3K.
Oh my god. Once again, delivering his opponents to their deaths. Let's watch that one more time. Woo. Never take this man off of the controller, please. Big Time's gonna have a word with you if you do that again, Zeta, GenG. It starts off with lovely aggression and the slight trap play as players walk back towards middle, catching GenG mid-transition. Athena was even taken down. But just the slight flicks, ever so slightly controlled bursts, he's always able to reset. And that was always what made Karen back then able to isolate duels so effectively. Zeta, if they had swung a bit more together, more coordinated, that could have been different. But
well, they kind of tried to though, but
yeah,
it seemed a little bit off with that initial peek that came through from Absol. He sort of ducked back behind the corner as the peek came through from Shota, and you were just a little bit out of coordination, and that's all that it really takes at the top level. You have players that are sharp enough to punish that kind of moment. Karen does that, gives the 4-3 advantage over to GenG. Now it's not a massive lead, but if you remember, we were kind of saying the same thing in the first half of the first map. Things were close, there was a bit of a competitive half building. Zeta were looking good at one point, and then GenG kind of ran away with the game. I'm just getting word that it is 1 kill remaining for Texture to get to 3,000 in Pacific.
It's going to be a hell of a career milestone as well.
I dare say he's getting that this game.
Yeah, no way he ends this half without getting 1 more kill. He's got the outlaw this round as well.
Hopefully we don't cast a curse that. That would be grim.
No way, no way, no way. I'm gonna laugh my ass off if that actually happens. He doesn't get a single kill.
He's leading the charge right now. He wants it here.
Let's go.
Round 8.
It's hunting season.
Texture looking for 3,000. Fina.
Look at how far back Zeta are playing. They don't see anything towards A, so they kind of have an idea. But position's been scouted now.
They're gonna go. Oh, they're gonna fake going. They went half into the cage. Try to draw a rotate across. Texture again hunting to see if there's anyone peeking for information right now. No info needed right now for Zeta. They are going to lock in with these players over towards B. Swing comes through. Absol goes down to Ash. A double kill for Ash, but he hasn't checked the corner. He does in the end. Spin back around. No kills on offer for Texture. They're going all the way of Ash.
Spike planted.
Smoked off.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh no.
Oh, no ace. That was just everything we didn't want to happen in that round. Texture didn't get a kill. Ash didn't get the ace. What's going on there?
Ash almost missed the corner, but finds it at the end. It's almost kind of also standard operating procedures for GenG. I kind of like this, I don't know, reformed identity for them. I mean, it's always been in their DNA still, right? Texture is the sniper, the rest of them as well. Always with 4Ks, some lovely bits of humor to keep the spirits up for the whole team.
Run it back. 5-3 the scoreline. GenG again look like they want to be going fast here. Ash is so quick through the middle of the map. This is crazy. Prowler hunting, and Texture gets his 3,000th career kill in Pacific. GenG are off to a good start. Ash with this flank is just causing such a ruckus. It's gone a little bit wrong though as the retake comes earlier than he had anticipated.
Team now stuck inside of elbow.
Last player standing.
Oh, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be the round that GenG wanted it to be. I thought that started so well. I mean, Ash's space was really good, but I don't think he was expecting that extra player so close.
Yeah, no clear way out. Raxco, though, might have some ideas. If he's able to cut someone off, could route back towards a main and get some res in.
Yeah, this would be a big kill if he gets it onto Sugar Zero. I don't know if he heard him. Oh, certainly not.
Great angle.
5-4. Zeta are still in the fight at the moment.
Quite competitive this map so far. And it all comes down to also just some slight team play moments coming out from Zeta again. I mean, they start to adjust around this A-side execute that GenG has tended to employ so many of those rounds early on from before, after ever since the timeout was called. But right now, either way, career milestone hit. Just gonna keep moving forward. Off in his hands. Conditioning's already been done, so it always keeps a couple of Zeta players invested at least towards A. But Zeta trying to stay ahead of the game as well. They got 3 players stacked up outside of B site.
B site has typically been a point of contention for GenG, so you can understand it from Zeta. Now let's go forward. Doesn't seem like it's going to be a commitment from GenG though.
Yeah, I'm a bit curious about this one. The trips are set quite far back, so Zeta playing quite defensive positions, just waiting for GenG to walk into their crosshairs and traps. Flashes everything ready, stuns as well for Absol. But after time elapsing, oh no, rotations. It's just Sugar Zero alone on A. This is terrible for the Japanese squad.
Jiggle peeking that corner as well. If he does that at the wrong time, Texture just going to pop him. It's a missed shot. So information, at least for Zeta, but I don't know how
30 seconds left.
useful that information's really going to be. GenG are going to get in and they're going to get a plan, and now you're going to have to play a 5-on-5 retake.
Yeah, look at the wall again as well, so deep. It's going to take quite a bit of work to chip away at it. Meanwhile, the rest of GenG are so aware as to the only other avenue of entry for Zeta. Marking the drop, Texture has the op.
Oh, he's not connecting much with it in this round so far. Athena up close and personal will be noted but not dealt with. Shota does get 2 eventually, and now it's Ash's turn to try and double down. Doesn't happen. GenG capitulate.
What on earth happened there? You gotta take a look at that again. Multiple shots, but some whiffing ultimately leads to this 5-5 scoreline. What a way for Zeta to just continue pushing forward. We witnessed the slight whiff, and that was the opening for Zeta to launch themselves into sight. And Shota, oh, they lined up perfectly for him. Unfortunately with the positioning there. But great multi-kills then for Zeta to bring the score to a tie, and now they're going to be the ones with an op. Texture buying back in. Back towards A site too.
A bit of a change in defense from Zeta this time around. They do have SDLL over there this time. And the wall going up. No one on top of it, but information there for GenG that there was a player or 2. They did spot Sugar Zero, and they have dealt with him as well. Ash again, the double on the entry. Nightfall goes through and doesn't spot anybody else, but Absol is still lurking around this time. TechShot will make no mistake, and Ash is doing what needs to be done. GenG trying a much more resourceful round this time.
Resourceful is the right way to call it too. I mean, this is fantastic. Tremendous work coming out, especially from, I guess, the new IGL of GenG, Athena. Calls it out right from the previous round, kind of gets a sense to how Zeta might set up off of this round, especially since the previous 8 hit didn't quite work out, right? So surely they're not going to stack it again, and even if they do, it's a full 5. As soon as that wall comes up, they slam it shut, and everyone just asserts themselves from GenG over on towards elbow, overall over the A site. Without numbers, with all that utility spent, Zeta couldn't fight back. The next round comes up, and it's the last one of the half. Texture brings toward a force. Zeta asserts themselves in middle.
Athena's continuing to push that with the spike. Oh, a couple of whiff shots there from Karen, but recalibrates. There's a res involved in the meanwhile as well, so we're back to a 3-on-3. They know that they've got Shota dead to rights in the corner, but he's going to go down swinging if it goes down at all. Eventually, Texture will catch up with him.
Ooh. Eventually gets chipped down to 6 HP as well. Possible 1v2. I don't want to count XDLL out yet, but this wall might make it a bit more tricky. Maybe not.
Spike planted.
His only choice, he steps out towards market. Texture has a great line for this.
It's not actually watching it, is he? It's Rascal that's watching, and Rascal that's hitting the headshot as well. 7-5, an important round at the end of the half. Keeps GenG with their noses in front.
Yeah. Still feels like both teams are relatively treading water with how close the scorelines have been. 6-6 from the previous match, 7-5 on this one. But GenG are definitely ahead. I mean, you can still see the effects of the round-to-round calls. This one, Zeta just kind of crosses their fingers and hopes for a good mid-push, trying to catch GenG off guard. And they kind of do so. Not until the trades all come in, and then lacking trades on the other side. Fortunately for them, this is the result we find ourselves in. Zeta still trying to keep up to it. They've had some pretty miraculous rounds. They've had some pretty sneaky team plays, trap setups, the way they swing together, but still kind of far and few between. We're going to have to look to the next half then. MVP again, Karen, especially with those clutches. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, that could be the recipe for success this season for GenG. Things are looking good, and I don't know if I'm quite ready to get on the Victoria Cheng hype train just yet. First of all, I don't know if she knows how to drive a train. I feel like it could be kind of dangerous.
No.
But
it's risky.
GenG looking good. Seeing some of the individuals kind of come back online. Texture and Karen having their moments. Ash as well.
Calling from Athena's good.
Calling from Athena's been good. I'm seeing the building blocks. I'm not prepared to dive in just yet, but, you know, I'm keeping a cursory glance in that direction.
It's stage 2, day 1, we're map number 2, but yes, we remain hopeful. I think for both teams too. I do kind of want to see more from Zeta still. They did take the pistol on this one in the first half. We'll see if they can do it again. GenG stacking up towards middle.
They should have held the stack. It would have been the perfect size hold, but I don't know who it was. I think it was Ash that sort of was like, I don't really want to do this, and left, dogged the boys, so to speak.
Buckled at the knees. There's quite a bit of pressure, not gonna lie. But that is now Zeta in control, especially towards middle. Keeps Texture on his toes, considering market. Does have a trademark to try to work off of, but Zeta take their time. GenG have already rotated or split themselves thin. So really, ball's in Zeta's court.
Yeah, 100%. GenG don't really have the ability to be the proactive team here. They don't have many options. They have to play this 2-1.
Just waited for the smoke, always playing it safe. Drone now heard by Texture.
Well, he's got the info, so let's see what he can do. Now he has to hitch some shots. Got that headhunter, and how many will he find? One. Ooh. Before porting back, got a bit greedy for the second shot, and it's a good thing that he did.
30 seconds left.
4 more rounds, too.
Planted.
Now rotation coming through from GenG as well. It's going to be a long rotate for Karen, but it will mean a setup in B main. And if Texture hits another, then this round really opens up. Paranoia has gone well past him, but still not able to capitalize on top of that. Athena dropping. But I do wonder if Karen's position will be overlooked. He's managed to creep out pretty significantly, and there's a good connection, but now has to start to get on that defuse, and looks like he just wants to sit it. Goes for the half, and XDLL all over that in the end. So GenG don't quite manage to pick the pistol up. Zeta fighting back in the second half.
Still a damn good try, though. Lovely stuff from both sides. Starting things off with, the trades out towards middle, which really sets the round apart a bit. Texture, though, definitely bought so much time and pressure away for his team, just being able to find those 2 quick kills. But Zeta instantly recognized what they needed to do, right? Considering that there may be rotations coming up, perhaps market, maybe main. Let's continue to push up, to do it together as a squad. They take down Athena, and that's where they really cement themselves in. Guns now brought up once again, and they take things ever slightly, so slow and steady.
Yeah, don't want to be running into any stacks. Texture, once again, has got Headhunter active, but his head is the one that's been hunted this time.
Okay, don't mind that. You would start to kind of read that Texture might be fishing out for these, especially as the chamber, and
yeah,
especially
100%.
the fact that he's Texture. So
I think it's a good idea from Zeta for sure.
And then now to just decide on a site, take your pick. Either way, GenG are going to be either 2-2 or 1-3, and in this case, they pick the right one.
Rascal, there's nothing you can do there. Drone gets the info. Easy kill for Absol. Looks like it'll be an easy round for Zeta as well. We need to wait until round number 15 for this half to really get underway.
Hey. And that's just lovely information as well. And if you take a look at what's going on this side too, they've been kind of playing the long game for this one, feeding all the alt points over to XDL, who just got the spike down too. So we're looking at maybe a relatively early res for Zeta to work off of. Once again, always keeping options available for themselves. Just trying to maintain as much of an advanced lead as possible. We'll tie up off of this one. Minimal damage sustained as well means they're going to be going to the next round with weapons that can match GenG's full buy. So there's a real good chance for Zeta still in this map.
It is GenG's map though. You'd have to think they've got something prepared on this defense.
That's true.
Haven't obviously seen the second half with the guns in hand. I'm sure that brings a little bit of a change. Won't be seeing Texture do that if he's got an operator or a rifle.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, that's what I might be a bit worried about as well. If things switch up then for GenG to start to play maybe too passive, who knows? For now at least it's just going to be the guns though. And their own variation of the A setup. Early wall comes out. Some slight footsteps as well. It's going to be Karan to jiggle around elbow, or not.
I just want to hold the paranoia for a swing from Ash.
Gotta go.
Looks like that is going to be what the setup will be. Ooh. Ash doesn't spot anything though.
Keep holding on to that paranoia.
Shota's still on the line. GenG going to look to try and clear him out. Can't get the 1-for-1. Karan clears out the A side very nicely, and Texture spotting middle. This is going wrong for Zeta. There's another kill on offer, but Texture not game to continue that spray battle. Backs out, happy to take the 5-on-3 advantage and hold the site. Alongside Athena, good swing comes through from both. That is a brilliant looking round from GenG. They barely make a mistake. Zeta kind of walking into them one by one, and it's been easy for GenG. Now they've got the guns in hand.
No kidding. GenG just read Zeta like a book on this one. Effectively kiting the Japanese team too. I mean, you look at what happens out towards A. As soon as that happens, Texture gets a great read for what the rest of the map's going to look like. Starts to position himself to cut them off towards middle. Finds the one. Starts to TP away. There was only one way forward then for Zeta. And just not being able to find the mid-round calling to make it happen even. Now they're, well, it's just Absol completely surrounded. Tries to at least maybe get one more alt point, but not happening. GenG answer back. Bonus denied.
GenG holding on to the lead as well. This is a really important kill as well. The fact that this happens cleanly is a big difference maker. If you need the 1-for-1 there, or if somehow he gets a couple, you know, it's a bit more of a scramble to take that map control. As GenG, everything goes well for them. The initial push outside of A, the hold in mid, and at that point the round is pretty much over for Zeta. They've just lost too much map control.
I have to be honest, I'm scratching my head a little bit with that very deep insert for Shota, but either way now, Texture's emboldened by the past plays.
Again, a good start for GenG. It's got Zeta on the back foot. Gonna go for the revive, and we'll hear from Zeta as they try to put this round together.
They found my trap.
Slow and steady from Zeta, but it might be about to pick the pace up a little bit here. Ash will use that fast lane just to get back out to safety. Mid control lost for GenG though.
That's a judge as well. Zeta deciding on the A side. GenG already in position. Look at Raxkal.
Needs a kill or two here. Gets one. No more than that. Karan might need to be the hero once again. Hiding inside of the dark cover. It is being watched for right now by XDLL. Plant going down. Looks like Karan's just going to play for the retake.
Spike planted.
Another dark cover goes up in the faces of GenG. This is a pretty tough retake, you'd think, but again, Karan making the difference and looking to get a bit more space for GenG. Providing enough of a distraction maybe for the swing to come through. That's perfect timing for GenG. Ash goes through the smoke as Karan gets peeked. You could not ask for a better retake timing.
This is unbelievable. I want to take a look at that again. Maybe if we could have listened to GenG's comms as well, because that was so interesting. Yeah, Zeta, you know, they try to do what they do best, slow and steady. They actually tried a bit more macro this time as well. I admire that they broke that trip outside of market before actually hitting the A side, but problem is, GenG gets a great read off of that. There's not much else in terms of pressure towards the B side of the map, so
As everything hits down towards A, yeah, Rexco does what he does as well. And then for Karen to sneak away 1 or 2 kills, that makes all the difference.
Karen is him right now in the server. I mean, GenG are just getting so much value out of Karen at the moment.
What is this? Ooh. Sneaky with a wall boost, but sees everything outside of A main is clear as well. That's great information. Great intel for GenG. Orbs for Zeta, though. Just once again, slow and steady. Build up to ults. Hope for a good gun round. They might come in with an execute at some point. Not really yet, not this time. And look at how GenG have adjusted their setups too, with a trademark this time. Not to the top of middle. So that's going to slow things down. Ash is in position to slay them down as they might try to tread through.
Okay. Falling off the left side of middle. It's going to indicate they probably want to go towards A. Could be an A split. GenG cottoning onto that possibility as well. You can see the push starting to come across from Texture. He's run straight into Absol. It's not really going to help out too much. The info was already there. They knew that Zeta had middle. So now GenG going to look to try to re-aggress outside of A, see if they can take some of that space back away, which they do, but it's going to be very quickly backfilled in by Eco. Missed shot or two from Ash is going to make matters worse here as well. Karen needs this duel, and he's surely not going to win it now. Absol and Eco, and it might well be an Eco win for Zeta here as well, as they've got that plan down, and it's all on Athena to try to retake in a 1v4.
Oh my god. Such incredible patience, I guess I have to say. I mean,
yeah, 100%. Zeta just bide their time and wait for GenG to make the mistakes.
And that, like, it's really biding their time. This spike wasn't even down by 15 seconds. Some teams might, you know, buckle under a bit of pressure from that point, but not Zeta. No, this was their game plan all around. Slow and steady. The wall comes up towards middle. And even as, what was it, Karen and Ash, I believe, you know, tried to decide on, you know, a single point of space to push through, you know, get a bit more breathing room for themselves. That's just Zeta continuing to, like, stay controlled around that space. They didn't go too far aggressive. They took their time with things, managed to stay in position for a lot of the incoming trades, and despite the Nightfall and everything sent in, just some steady hands, stopping power with the Sheriffs. They managed to pull out the Thrifty. Look at that. 8-9, they have a good chance to turn this around. GenG will still be able to afford things, though, so maybe a bit more desperate than Texture with Tour de Force. Starts to play around A, but no one's there to greet him.
See how far he actually decides to push this. He could keep going if he's hearing all these footsteps in middle, and particularly with Karen finding that opening pick. In the end, Texture will hold strong for the moment, but it's actually going to be on Athena how this round plays out. Gets the 2K from up close and personal. And that is going to bring GenG scurrying across. Spike is into the site, but not planted yet. Zeta still looking for a fight before they try to get that plan down. Hunter's Fury is going to be ripped as well, but Ash says, well, if you're going to be popping the Hunter's Fury, that means this is a 1v1 onto Shota, and I'm for sure going to win that. So, happy to take that fight. And GenG, again, build the lead out to 2. Trouble is, Zeta are making this competitive enough, but they're just still trailing, right? They're still trying to play catch up, and push comes to shove. Eventually, it's going to be GenG that hits 13 first.
Right? I mean, kind of like what the desk was kind of hinting at as well. Like, still a shooting game at some moments. And then a lot of these, like, little 1v1s, you called it, or maybe even Athena showing his experience in that little moment. Saw a hit, anticipates the next peak to come out, and instantly clicks before the player even peeks in. Sudden straight execute from Zeta then, though. But Texture's in position.
Trademark there as well. Just going to spot Absol out. Won't matter, gets the entry anyway on to Ash. Texture down as well. Karen will not save the day this time. Another pacey round from Zeta. We saw that as well on Asen, and it worked for them.
Spike planted.
And it's worked for them here as well.
Switch things up. Okay. And really the problem this round was then, you know, because they haven't really seen too much pressure, at least with that quick of a round from Zeta, no one was stationed towards elbow. It was a great line for Zeta to quickly collect upon,
separate angle to be able to take down Texture and the rest of the team. And now we're instantly down for a 5v2 where it's a straight save. GenG has no other choice. Still should be able to buy up for the next one though, so not too worried yet, but either way, it's just this steady climb still for Zeta. Try to get themselves up to tied scoreline, hopefully. Taking a look at the ultimate department as well. I really don't think too much of it yet. Maybe XDLL, who could be close to a res, but you know, GenG, they already have theirs with Raxkull. So it just comes down once again to how that macro game could be played. Do we see another pacey round from Zeta, or do they try to condition around what they've done just previously?
I think that the Zeta viewing party is my happy place. Like, could we just watch the whole, like, can we just have them in a pip for the whole stream, you know? They're just always so stoked.
I wish they were like that for our casts. We'll see. Ever so hopeful for Zeta in this round. They do exactly that, just trying to condition about their quick hits over to the A site. Texture comes back in, sees that it's clear. Already GenG in position around middle, but it's smoked off as well. GenG is trying so hard to read and play around this.
Oh, Texture goes down early as well as Karen.
Oh, man.
This round you'd think should fall apart. Ash might have the key to keeping it alive, though. It's going to be walled off from the site. A is taken once again by GenG, by Zeta, I should say. Rez coming through onto Karen. You're going to go for this round, GenG.
Can't make it happen.
Ash is one away from the overdrive. If you get another kill in here, he's going to send it in.
Zeta doesn't have much util. Ash has the relay bolt.
We've got 3 players stuck on the side as well, but that doesn't matter if they're going to take the initiative and take the fight themselves. Karen now starting to try to work his way forward. Could find the isolated duel, but loses it anyway. And now no chance for Rascal. That res was irrelevant. 10-10 will be the scoreline. Zeta are coming back again.
With an actual tie. And this is all macro. Suddenly, or finally, we actually start to see some of that cerebral game work from Zeta. Conditioning out earlier on. They started to go with the rotates. I don't know who made the call. Hopefully it's Sugar Zero, or I don't know what the tell might have been, but as soon as they start to smoke off, made some moves towards middle, they actually doubled back over onto A site. Taking down Texture meant that the doors were blown wide open. And with that, they actually just were able to plant their flag firmly over into site. You know, even pushing him down a little bit further as their wall gets broken. And ultimately, it's the fact that they coordinatedly swung out outside of the site to be able to take down GenG as they tried for that retake, tried for that early hit. Ash was in that position for the longest time. They were all just staging, hoping for everyone to get within range, but Zeta pounced on the opportunity. So now with a tied up score, GenG then finds themselves maybe soon running out of cash. It's going to be a heavy investment for Texture with the operator in the upcoming round.
Yeah, got to make this one work. GenG, otherwise this will be Zeta pulling ahead for what really feels like the first time in the map. I know Zeta was, you know, a bit competitive in that first half as well. Did start off 3-0, but generally has kind of felt like GenG have had the run of things.
Generally, yeah.
Maybe that all comes a little bit unstuck here and now, and it would be at the 11th hour. Really not when you want it to happen for GenG.
Yeah, I mean, that's both sides of the coin, right? I really admire Zeta's perseverance on their opponent's map pick to take both pistols, come in with a scoreline like this, finally tied up. But of course for GenG as well, to let things slip, who knows? You start things off with early aggression now.
Ooh, wow. Like this, but it doesn't spot anyone.
Okay, yeah, nothing towards middle. No one's playing front outside of A main either, though, so that's what GenG are considering right now. Prowler sees that there's no one there. So as GenG, you kind of wonder, maybe Zeta are up towards tiles, maybe towards the back of spawn.
Still a lot of space taken by GenG that Zeta kind of have to retake at some point if they want to threaten any map control. Instead, they've opted to go in the other direction. Tech's just kind of clearing out A, and you've still got Karen holding forward. So GenG have got to be pretty aware now that they've Probably got to have Zeta in mid somewhere.
Somewhere, right? Like, that's the suspense of all of this.
It's going to be a very late hit from Zeta, wherever it ends up being. Walk right into the line of Texture, and this time he connects. And he gets the chance at a second as well.
Oh boy.
Ports come through. That's going to have Texture really under pressure. You get one as well out of Karen, and now Sugar Zero's been spotted out. Absol deleted by Texture. That's a huge kill to come through. Can't land another one, but has provided time for the team to rotate across. It's an all-out brawl for this A site that Zeta just about wins. They get the plant at least. Retake is coming through pretty quickly from Ash. Missed shot initially on both sides, and GenG look like they're going to fumble the bag right here. It's all on Rascal, but this is too much to do. I mean, the crossfire is massive. Taps that defuse, but can't get it done, and Zeta work their way into that site again with pace.
You call it? Oh my god. Damned it if Texture didn't try his best on that round.
Yeah, the second shot was crazy.
He was stunned. Was that a no-scope even? Yes, it was! But for the whole team then to kind of fumble after the point, Ash had an overdrive, but he stayed crouched! Come on! 3 kills for Zeta as they just held down the site. The trades weren't there. Unfortunate for young Raxkull. Couldn't do it all in 1v3. Round up again, and you can see the effects of the timeout. They want to start off rounds by trying to read for B presence.
Yep.
No one's home.
Pressure's really on GenG now. This is in real danger of going to a third map.
Probably going to be broke on the next round if they
lose
this
it,
one.
Yeah, I mean, they've not even got the best of buys. A couple of Bulldogs coming out. So
last chance. Zeta does their due diligence. It's also presence made known, though. Texture's also in such a forward position outside of A.
Deploying drone.
It's a big setup, though, from GenG. They look like they want to take the fight to Zeta. It's going to be a mistake, you would think. I don't know how Ash survived for that long. But in the end, no kill comes through. Absol gets healed back up by XDLL as well, so the damage is a fairly moot point.
Yeah, it feels a bit odd. I mean, either you get a kill, maybe you bait some utility, key pieces of utility out, but no, Zeta actually managed to hold on to quite a bit. Sugar Zero still had the flash, and mid-round calls, they go back to B.
Karen in the point to make the difference. Athena is in an awkward spot as well. Gets one, and so too does Karen. Oh, it's gone kind of wrong for Zeta, but there was maybe just enough done to keep this competitive. Shota will be able to get a plant in the 1-on-2. Rascal healing himself back up. 2 full HP opponents here for Shota. Needs some perfect shots, and that is one. All on the shoulders of Shota, and Texture needs to step up here in a big way. Low HP, of course, for Shota. Texture off of the line. Might have timed Shota here. Wrapping around, but the headshot connects, and Zeta get another. How have GenG lost that?
Texture, no way! Unbelievable plays from Shota. That was quite the definition of ring around the rosy, but either way, still with the entire game plan being played through, Zeta dragged GenG through the mud. Just slow plays, forcing them to think. Texture starts to feel some pressure, unsure if he should rotate early or not. At least the players managed to make the hold happen, but it comes in quite labored as well. But fumbling the 2v1 is ultimately what does it at the end. Overtime or bust for GenG this point forward.
Yeah, I think GenG might be mental boomed after that one. Should have been their round.
Bring them down.
The B defenders did enough work. Not rewarded for it. So GenG have a big road ahead.
Yeah, they're always worried about Zeta's executes, all the big pieces of utility that they have in their bags. Athena does have a Nightfall for this round, though.
Take flight.
It's in a pretty good position to make something happen. Reads the wall. It's Raxkull to receive contact.
GenG have to fight for this. They've only got a solo hold over towards B, so they need to try and take this mid control. They are not having a great amount of success in doing so, though. Just seems a bit miscoordinated, really. And somehow Zeta get away with the numbers advantage there.
Yeah, they cancel again. If you're GenG right now, you're just like, where have they gone?
And that's what makes things so suspenseful, so unsettling for the team right now, is they are split up on every lane of the map. They try to get a good heads-up read for it, especially with this wall coming out from Raxkull. But as soon as that gets shot down, like, he's going to be in a terrible position.
Well, see if he can put anything together. It's just going to be the one. Karen in as well. Timing almost looked good, but gives away his position with those shots. That's when their plan's going to go down. Trying to save the map here. GenG relying on Karen, and they can always rely on Karen. A double kill. It's still not enough to win this round. Eco tucked back in towards B main. Texture surely got to be aware that he's on that line. GenG are not dead yet. Woo, Karen.
How did he do that? What on earth was that flick? We've got to watch that again. The cheers from the Korean crowd willing GenG forward. The Tiger Nation is backing them. This felt like an unwinnable scenario. They didn't have numbers. They didn't have the reads. Even down to the walls at the end, a one-and-done position, and at least Raxkull does get one. But look at that. Almost 90 degrees. Well, 45 here, but
where did you get your math lessons from?
I failed geometry.
Clearly. 45 degrees more on point, I'd say, yeah. I mean, still, it's a good flick. I won't take that away from him. But you need another one here for GenG.
Oh my goodness.
And again, it's going to be fast from Zeta. Texture's forced away. Two players kind of stuck on the site. The pressure building, but the rotation is going to be fast. Texture again connecting, but Ash goes down. Good trade from Rascal. Slow up through as well. The heal. GenG, hold on for now. Is it going to be a cancel call from Zeta, or are they going to double pump?
Look at Karen. Well, GenG definitely considering that fact. Raxkull one away from an alt, so either way forward, Zeta's going to have quite a bit of work to do. As long as Karen doesn't go down, GenG have a pretty damn good chance in this round. Doing Zeta as well, okay. It will indeed be a cancel.
Doors shut.
GenG trying to play safe to maintain their lead.
Rascal's again in the key position. This is really risky from him, but somehow wins the duel. Probably shouldn't have. Gets the info that was required, and that is going to have GenG scurrying about like ants. They're not sure exactly where to go. Res through as well. Okay, 5 on 2.
No. No chance. No shot. XDL might be closer to Res, but bodies all too far apart. Karen's position unknown.
Yeah. You'd have to go on a real expedition to try to find a Res here. I don't think it's going to come into play. Karen, perfect line held, beautiful stuff. Again, Mr. Reliable for GenG today. And Eco can't get it done. It is going to be overtime. GenG, they haven't done it easy, but they might still be able to do it.
Through some quite incredible heroic feats, they actually brought this up. And of course, it's Karen as well to be able to do it. Both times, almost map MVP. Texture was pretty close up behind from before, and now he's doing it again still. But in this one, it's his tour de force. The intention of a pacey hit ultimately gets blocked. And then the mid cancel, also not quite happening either. It's a little bit unfortunate for Zeta, who tried to catch GenG off guard, but yeah, it's not going to be happening this time. Our first overtime on the first day of Stage 2. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I can definitely believe it. This feels like every esports season I've ever broadcast.
Oh my god. Look, we don't even have stats for Zeta and the overtime percentages. Oh, this is crazy.
All right. Well, a little bit of a recovery from GenG, but let's see if they can continue that streak, or if Zeta will play the difference maker again.
They could. Look at the difference in the trip setups this time, all around the B site.
It's a very interesting trip on the B side, isn't it?
Yeah.
From
it's just all adjustments from that first half, because GenG oftentimes would have to clear that angle. I think it was maybe XDL who was playing the off angle, so no, actually maybe not. Might have been Shota. But either way, GenG will respect all the little bits of pressure early on. It's going to be that mid to B play, B split.
Prowler wants dislodge that initial trip. Push coming through from GenG. Really putting that pressure on the side, but the rotation looks to be pretty quick here from Zeta. Still, entries are not bad from GenG. That's an important dual one from Athena and from Karen, and that splits the difference.
Yeah, XCL left in 1v3 feels unwinnable. Should not be happening.
No.
Even doubled back over on towards B main. GenG has such a good way to hold the spike as it's planted for them.
Oi! Oh, not exactly what you want. Nightfall is going to be invested, so that is a hefty investment. And another kill, it might be required. Now it's down to a 1v1. You said this was unlosable. The slow creep, no! Surely not. Surely not from Athena. Half is going to be not quite confirmed, and Athena saves the day for GenG. How close were they to losing that round?
What are we doing? Oh my god. That's one of those, I think Achilles would have crashed out if they actually lost that.
I would have crashed out.
We all would.
You can't be slow walking on the creep like that.
You can see what the intention was, yeah, especially with some of the elevated plays. Karen tries to go for it.
I don't know about that from Karen.
I mean, you just kind of have to applaud what XDL was attempting as well, but Athena's experience right at the end there.
Timeout.
Definitely almost lost that one, but ultimately with the way that the hit goes too, a tad bit too passive for my liking with how Zeta were positioned back then. Just
Big timeout here.
They got surprised, but yeah, the timeout now just to try to keep themselves in the game. It's one called by GenG though. We're gonna try to close things out. They did struggle a little bit in this half. Remember, they had a 7-5 lead moving forward into the second half. So it's always been that slight bit of macro, conditioning, slight pumps and then fakes. It's always so unsettling for GenG. They have to think twice about how they're going to utilize their abilities. They spend it too early, and that's exactly what Zeta wants as well.
One round for GenG to close it out here. Karen at 26-15. It's been a stellar map again from him. GenG back on the defense, which it felt like was where they struggled, but in reality it was a 6-6 half either way.
True. Okay, trademark to top of middle.
Once again, Zeta looking to try to bully through middle. They get a lot of space there. But GenG had already pushed their way out of A, so they themselves have got quite a bit of space to play with. It's just a question of whether or not Eco will come into play. You've got Karen anchoring on the side. They think it's clear. That is insane that they don't clear that corner. Oh, but Eco wins himself a duel against Ash. It might not be done here. Now the question is, do they expect Athena? Do they expect a third player towards A? Absol cannot win that duel, and that is the spark dropped, which gives GenG a chance in the round, but they need to clear this corner, and they won't. Shota.
It's done. For all Athena's efforts, biding his time for the one perfect kill, unfortunately going down to Shota, who lurks all the way at the end. Unbelievable scenes. I mean, it starts off incredible because they walled off the trademark, and as soon as they push past it as well, it's an intentional trip from Shota. He actually breaks it open. So by the time GenG start to get wise to where the hit was approaching from, they had no one in position to trade or to find the numbers to fight back.
Karen was so isolated on that side. He was always going to be a one and done.
Exactly.
Thought they might get a bit more done on Eco with that push out of A, GenG, but not to be. In the end, we're back in to another round of OT.
Texture once again sopping. Different trips as well. Much more forward for information this time from Zeta. GenG though, trying to approach similarly as well. Towards middle, oh, there's a stack.
Drone goes forward. Don't know that it would have spotted Ash out. Here comes the recontest, and indeed it did not, as Absol completely ignoring that corner. 2 for 1. They bring GenG thus far.
Yeah, suffering heavy casualties that early in the round as well. You feel like you need to quickly reinforce either site, or at least play in a position where you can escape and dip back in. So that's what they're trying to do out towards elbow now with these two players from Zeta. It does leave so much space up for GenG.
Could walk into this crossfire though if they fail to realize the possibility of XDLL around the corner here. That could be problems. It was a good sharp initial shot, but not enough to stop this rampage from GenG. Paranoia goes through onto Eco. He'll still be good for one, but solid trade from Karen, and Texture on this line will secure it for GenG. 14-13, another bite at the cherry.
Switching sides.
Yeah, juicy one at that. Both teams solid on the attack. A little bit more lacking on the defense this time around. Zeta tried to get ahead, but unfortunately overlooking some...
One enemy remaining.
I don't know what the word I want to call it is. Some corners that they needed to have cleared. Unfortunately, just bites him in the back, too. Maybe not quite fully anticipating that someone would have been that far up front. Or at least for his teammates, maybe to clear it and trade for him. Unfortunate for Absol. Either way, move back over again to Zeta's slow and steady attack. Or do they once again switch up the pace? I can see on my map now that they're actually positioned towards the A site. Texture.
Yeah, I see some pings as well that would indicate to me that they might be running a similar round to the one that they had throughout regulation, where they went fast into A.
It's always so tentative. Motions are tense as well. GenG maybe trying to keep it light. The timeout does afford both sides to have a discussion. But there's so much to consider. It's overtime. There have been so many rounds to try to condition and read your opponents. So as we head back into the game.
No defensive halves so far in OT. All attacking side wins.
You can see that GenG wants to try and get ahead of things by going for some early info scouting outside of B main.
Not going to see much.
That'll be information enough still, though. 3 stack on A side to try and receive the incoming hit.
This is what I'm talking about, by the way. Zeta, very similar fast lane to the rounds where they played fast. Missed shots from Athena, and Ash can't peek on that contact. So GenG lose the opening fight. Ash is going to still stick around. This is a really bold position to fight from. You have to back away as soon as you take that initial contact. Again, in a bit of a one-and-done line. I'll try and love this setup. This is not ideal, but gets back out to relative safety. 10 HP though. GenG are playing with fire right now. Heal's going to come through. In all this meanwhile, by the way, Texture seeing absolutely nothing on B.
He's just going to sit there. They're not sure if Zeta's going to cancel and traverse back. Oh no. That's gone all wrong.
Come
on, Texture.
What is he doing, by the way?
No one can win a defensive round.
Elfish is so upset. Well, you call it. GenG tried to play with fire. Unfortunately, they do find themselves singed.
Well, it's not done yet. 3 on 5. It's not a great position to be in for GenG, but until it is locked in for Zeta, we cannot confirm anything. Ash going down is perhaps going to seal the deal, and Karen gets traded out. So Texture would need to be a miracle worker to end it here.
I don't think there are going to be any miracles to be had here. He's on an off, only has 1 headhunter round. It's OT, so the banks come up a bit short. Positions as well for Zeta.
Not a believer then.
I mean, a situation like this, come on. No, sir.
14-14, we go again.
You just got to think about how the round began as well. I mean, GenG trying to get ahead of it, but the execution a little bit floppy.
Yeah. You could tell GenG wanted that fight. It all kind of goes a little bit wrong when Athena loses that initial duel. If Athena actually wins that, it's a bit of a different story. But sometimes that's just the way things go.
30 seconds left.
It's one of those things, maybe they tried to come up with it on the fly, especially after the timeout, but that's just how strong, how stoked the fans are, how strong the executes have been on this A site for Zeta. All that utility. And we go back onto GenG's attack. Same trips from Zeta. The approach this time different, but Absol's in position up middle. He sees nothing. Quite clear as to where GenG are positioned. Zeta trying to get ahead with spams.
Karen is... Oh, he's already in the side. No way! Oh, Karen! I can't believe they continue to commit to that. Shot through is not going to land. Man, that was ballsy from Karen. Through the fire and flames, he gets the double TP. And then the double kill. Unbelievable.
Blink and you miss it. Holy hell. And now it's a burst out of Boba.
Good shot from Texture, and that'll pretty much be that. So another attacking sided round and another chance for GenG to close it on their defense.
You know what another it is? It's another heroic round for Karen. How many has he had already throughout this entire series? From the 1v3 clutch to this TP? You're kidding. Off of the fast lane from Ash, the Haunt as well. Shota actually flicked onto it, but because of the wall, it just had no idea what he was shooting at. Karen lands the perfect shots. Oh, they're gassing him up for sure.
I mean, it's not just the shots, it's the play as well. Like, that guy, they were swinging, they were hanging, that's all I'm saying. He was...
You can't say that. Okay, we're back to Zeta on the attack. Always so tentative with how they begin. GenG has done well to take quite a bit of forward space. Trip setup as well, just in case GenG does go a little bit too far ahead. But now for everyone to regroup, re-engage towards a single site. First point of contact, Athena has to get out of dodge.
Pushed away by the drone. Prowler won't really slow Zeta down all that much. And again, you know, they've set themselves up in position to do what they've done pretty much throughout their entire attacking half, which is bully their way in onto A. Let's see if the defense can hold again this time. That paranoia timing was perfect. Again, it might be Karen that is the hero for the team. First with the util, then with the shots. Now ports back to the safety of the site. And GenG have the player advantage on the defense for what feels like the first time in forever. Spike down. This might be it. Zeta have fought so hard to get to this position time and time and time again. But it may not matter. 15 seconds left on the clock. Shota in the 1-on-3. And I don't think he's got it. GenG lined up, watching the spike. Texture misses a shot. It's still not done, but finally... a shot connects, and finally, GenG will finish it off. The 2-0 today, it was not an easy 2-0, but it is a good start to the season, and they have to take some heart in that.
You definitely have to. Making it this close, the overtime, right in the first series of Stage 2, but also for GenG to be able to come up with the goods when needed. I had my questions about that setup. Why put 2 Sentinels on a single site when you have that composition? There's no delay. But thanks to some, again, individual efforts, they managed to get that sharpshooting. They get the read for where Zeta want to push. And just getting those kills necessary. I mean, big kills all throughout this entire series. Not just this map alone. We've had Karat, we've had moments from Ash, Texture as well. But so far, the calling from Athena is what impresses me quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good look. It's a good start for GenG. I think we're going to need to see more before we're fully convinced, but maybe that hype train can get rolling. And for Zeta, obviously back to the drawing board. They'll have to put in a bit of work before their next game. But it's nice to start with a win as far as GenG is concerned. It was a poor season last season. There's no sugarcoating that, but a new look roster, and who knows where they can go with it.
Definitely could go quite way with the journey. Texture back in, Chamber Sentinel buffs looking pretty good for the entire team, entire season, entire stage as well. Seeing Zeta come in with their own looks too. But of course with this 2-0 win, I mean, that's gotta be feeling pretty damn good. The fans definitely loving it.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, a lot of fans turning out, and I'm sure they're going to be keen to hear from Athena. We've got Jen down on the stage.
GenG looking revitalized for Stage 2, and I've got their new IGL, Athena, to talk about today's win. Congratulations, Athena. First things first, your first game, first win, overtime. How was that for you? 네, 오늘 경기 승리를 거둔 젠지의 새로운 IGL이죠. 에피나 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 승리 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
아니, 첫 경기부터 연장이 좀 길었는데요. 그래도 오늘 어땠는지부터 들어보고 싶어요.
일단은 첫 경기 너무 승리해서 기분 좋고요. 저희 또 첫 경기라고 저희 가족분들도 와주셨는데 너무 이겨서 기분 좋고, 사실 첫 경기라서 긴장이 안 됐다면 거짓말이고 긴장을 했는데 저희 팀원들하고 그리고 저희 코칭 스태프가 너무 잘 이끌어줘가지고 이길 수 있었던 것 같습니다.
Well, first game, I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit nerve-wracking, but I've got my family here, and I think the coaching staff and my teammates really helped me to get rid of those stage nerves in today's game, and I'm really, really happy about being able to win this first game of stage 2. Now, this is a huge opportunity for you. You've been grinding for so long. What are your plans to kind of make the best out of this opportunity that's given to you? 그리고 정말 오랜 기간 동안 프로 생활을 해왔잖아요. 진짜 정말 큰 기회일 것 같아요. 좀 마음가짐은 어떤지도 들어보고 싶거든요.
일단은 저한테 있어서 정말 말도 안 되는 기회라고 생각을 해서 정말 이번이 마지막이다라는 생각으로 진짜 엄청나게 열심히 달릴 생각이고 더 잘할 수 있도록 더 노력해야 될 것 같습니다.
I think this is an incredible, unbelievable opportunity for me. So I think I'm going all or nothing. I'm going all in and make sure that I deliver my best performance for GenG. Now, talk to us also about transitioning into this team as the initiator IGL and getting used to the system. 그리고 이제 척후대 IGL로 젠지에 합류하게 됐잖아요. 적응하는 부분은 어땠는지, 좀 힘든 점은 없었는지 궁금합니다.
일단은 적응하는 데 있어서는 사실 전부터 조금씩 준비를 해오고 있었어서 그렇게 크게 어려움이 있진 않았는데 아무래도 또 새로 배우는 것들이나 외워야 될 게 생기다 보니까 그런 부분에서 좀 미스가 생겼었는데 코칭 스태프가 잘 이끌어줘가지고 잘 적응했던 것 같습니다.
I think adjusting to the team, I was kind of prepping myself for it bit by bit, so not much big problem there. But I think I also had a lot of new things to work on, new things to learn and memorize. There were a little bit of mistakes made with the calls, but I think we really got to work and we're on the same page now. So I think we're gonna have really good performance for stage 2. Now, lastly, anything you would like to the fans? Everybody was cheering you on, and we're super happy to see you back in the 상암 Coliseum. 그리고 마지막으로 팬분들께 좀 인사 부탁드릴게요. 아무래도 상암에서 이렇게 무대에서 인터뷰하는 것도 진짜 오랜만이잖아요.
일단은 이렇게 좋은 무대에서 팬분들 볼 수 있게 돼서 너무 기쁘고요. 사실 제 팬분들뿐만 아니라 젠지 팬분들한테도 앞으로 잘 부탁드린다고 드리고 싶고, 사실 좀 움츠렸었잖아요 젠지가 최근에. 근데 앞으로 더 잘할 일 많이 남았으니까 앞으로도 많은 응원해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
Well, I think thanks to all the fans, the Athena fans and GenG fans showing up, it's a great honor and a pleasure also to be able to say hi to you guys and let you guys see me perform on the stage. So, I mean, GenG as a team, they've been through a rocky road. Things have been tough, but I think we only got, we're going up all the way from here. So I think with your support, we may deliver better performances and better results. Thank you so much, Athena, and best of luck in your next matchup. 네, 이렇게 해서 에피나 선수 만나봤습니다.